Yeah, what's good? What's happening, everybody? I hope everybody is having an excellent day. Does my mic sound normal?
Sounds normal to me. Mine sound normal?
Yeah, yours sounds good there too. Welcome to Q and Code show. Me and Cole talk. Also, we have Curtis who joins us occasionally. If we got Curtis back there, Curtis, can you come on stage? Come on, let's clap it up for Curtis, y'all. Clap it up for Curtis. Yeah. All right, Curtis. How you feeling, Curtis?
Wait, what'd you say? I couldn't hear
How
you.
you feeling, Curtis?
Man, I got a damn stomach virus. I don't know what's going on right now.
Shit.
Curtis, you 6'2"? You 6'2", bro? You
Yes,
6'2"?
man. Like, I don't know what's
Oh,
going on. I really don't know.
I can
Oh,
tell by the
man.
rub on the eyes you are not feeling good at all. That is a stress. That's the ooh.
Man. Something going around. I don't know what it is, bro, but everybody's been sick.
Guess that's up north. You know, I'm good. I feel great. I feel breezy. Got my hair cut. I feel good. So
Man,
appreciate.
yeah.
He aggressively got off.
I like Curtis. Curtis looked like he got a towel near him. Like it's like, oh boy, you gonna have to sweat that one out, brother. It's cool, man. It's cool.
I ain't gonna lie. I got some tissue and some water right next to me.
Hey, look, I'll send out some lozenges. You know what I mean? Let me know. Let me know. Y'all need a DoorDash delivery. But how are we all doing, man? The combine was this last weekend. I always like to be cautious about how I feel about stuff after the combine. Because I remember in 2018, people were convinced and telling me that the Browns were definitely taking Josh Allen. And Josh Allen was absolutely not who they took, right? Now, do we wish they would have done that? Yes. Right. But it was not Josh Allen that was out there, right? There has been a lot of smoke around Cam Ward in the Cleveland Browns. Some of the people I talk to, they insist that the smoke is real, right? Mm-hmm. But also the same people I talk to about the smoke feel like there's something up, right? Like it just don't pass the test for them when it comes to why would Cleveland put this out there, right? So I'm not sure what to do with all of that. I'm just going to kind of stick where I've been at, where I'm like, well, I mean, if they take them or they don't take them, I'm still not the biggest fan of them as a prospect. This has been a whirlwindy kind of week. I think people go up and down crazy for the combine. Colb, have you gone up or down for somebody during this combine process?
I don't really think so. Like, there's nothing that. The funny thing about the combine is that, like, I feel like if you were gonna go in the top 10, or if you were gonna go high, it doesn't really hurt you as long as you don't test super poorly. You know what I mean? But there's nobody who was connected to the Browns that I thought, or that I think the Browns would take, that I thought tested poorly or did anything abnormal. I think Shamar Stewart, who tested great, like a freak of nature. If the Browns decide to trade back, I think he might have put himself in the conversation of guys that they might take if they decide to trade the pick, if they could find somebody to trade up. But outside of that, I didn't really see anything too crazy.
The only person I was like, man, I don't think I find him very draftable for me anymore is was it Tez from Oregon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At 150, it ran a 4.5.
Not gonna get it done, brother.
That's not gonna help because you gonna have to add 30 pounds just to beat Devontae Smith. Like, if people were bringing that up to me, oh, well, he could be Schmitty. I'm like, did he win the Heisman? Did I miss that? But a lot of different conversations. Cole, how do you feel about quarterback? How do you feel about quarterback, I'll say?
About this quarterback class specifically?
Yes.
I'll say this. I think Cam and Shador aren't bad prospects. Like, I'm not like super down on them like other people are. But I don't think it's like life or death if the Browns don't take either one of them.
I tend to
both
think
be fine.
both of these guys in some of the big boards I look at, I feel like they sit around 20.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I made this point on a video I did earlier where I went back 10 drafts, Cole, and I was like, hey, who are the players that were outside the top 10 of these big boards, the major ones? Right? I'm not even talking about like the deep in the woods big boards that like me and you look at where we're like, oh yeah, this guy, he's had his. No, we're talking about like Mel Kiper, Tom McShay, Daniel Jeremiah, the Pro Football Focus staff one, right? Like a big board that you see when you watch the draft, right? How many of these quarterbacks who have been taken outside the top 10 have who have been taken in the top 3 or top 5 when they were outside the top 10 in prospects actually worked out? Now, if you go back, Blake Bortles was universally out the top 10. Nobody had him in the top 10. Let me pull up the sheet real quick. But he was somebody who was out the top 10. Another guy who was universally out the top 10 was, let me go back to, Jared Goff was universally in the top 10. Carson Wentz was out. 14th, 2016, he went number 2 overall. I think that's probably the best case scenario for reaching for a quarterback, right? But even then, that's a different reach because he was, the board on Carson Wentz varied so much because he was the first FCS prospect to go that early, right? North Dakota State, small school guy, he's the first guy of his kind. If he had played at like North Carolina, he probably would have been right up there with Jared Goff as far as his college tape goes. Mitch Trubisky was a universal 27th on those big boards. Went number 2. We know how that went, right? Baker Mayfield was sitting at 10, right, on the average, right? So right in the range, but right almost out the range. Was only in the top 10 in one big board that year. That was Pro Football Focus. So Baker Mayfield, probably another best case scenario if you reach at quarterback there. Kyler Murray was consensus top 10. Joe Burrow, Tua, obviously consensus top 10. Trey Lance was 10, which we know how Trey Lance went. Anthony Richardson was 11th consensus, which again, the reach there, we don't know how that's worked out. I think I'll tell you this right now. Anthony Richardson was in this draft class. I'm taking him at 2. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm
you still on that? You still hold strong?
I'm not going into it knowing what I know now about Anthony Richardson, even though like I would trade for Anthony Richardson if you talk about like a 3rd or 4th for him. Like, fuck it, why not? Like it's as good as a chance to fix it as Jalen Milroe. Honestly, a better chance, right? Like if you're talking about what you could get with the 3rd, 4th round pick at the quarterback position. So yeah, I would absolutely trade for Anthony Richardson still to this day. But if we just knew what we knew about Anthony Richardson coming out in this year's draft class, of course he's going number 1 overall.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you just stand this dude next up to Shador and Cam Ward. You'll be like, oh my God. Like the only reason he went 3rd in that class was what? He had CJ, and then we spent like 4 years talking about how Bryce Young's the best college quarterback to ever play. That's what it took to keep that man from going in the top 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he were in this class, I would be like, yeah, they're going to take him. You feel how you feel about it, but they're going to take him. Okay. Because he would have been an inevitable like prospect. Last year's class, which like everybody tries to tell me that Jaden Daniels was also out the top 10, could not be further from the truth. He was only out the top 10 in one board, and that was Pro Football Focus. That had him at 20. Not Pro Football Focus. Bleacher Report had this man at like 22.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they fucked up. That was bad. Pro Football Focus had him at 21. That my bad. Bleacher Report. But I think Bleacher Report was low on him too. Caleb Williams, obviously number 1 in that class, consensus. Jaden Daniels, number 8, Drake May, number 6. So all not really considered reaches. I mean, you look at Cam Ward and Shador. Right now, Cam is 12th consensus and Shador 17th. So both would definitely fall into the category of reaches, and I think those numbers are going to go up for them as this process continues. As people talk about, it's never good to me when a team that doesn't have a quarterback has the number 1 overall pick and wants to trade it. That never speaks good about what you could get for a trade back and what people feel about quarterbacks in that year. It's also not, and if that pick does not get, if the Tennessee is willing to trade that pick, Colb, and that pick does not get traded in 7 days, like before the start of the new league year, then that means like ain't nobody believing this either. Because if the number 1 pick's available, you have a clear way to secure your chance to get the guy that you think is the answer at quarterback. And you willing to wait till April to do it? It's not this. It doesn't send the strongest sign to me. Unless we find out that Tennessee's asking crazy shit.
This is what I want to say. So, what do we know? Or what do we think we know coming out of the combine? So, coming out of the combine, the talk is that 4 teams called the Titans to come up to 1, presumably to take Cam Ward. So, we know the Giants for sure have called the Titans. The Jets for sure have called the Titans. The Browns have called the Titans, and the Raiders have called the Titans. So basically, all the teams in the top 10 that need quarterbacks have called the Titans about coming up to 1. Rumored, allegedly. So if we're going based off this, as it pertains to the Cleveland Browns, do we think that it is a little strange, just a little strange, that an organization that prides itself, since Andrew Berry has been running the show, that prides itself on absolutely nothing leaking out, that prides itself on moving in silence, and that prides itself on nobody around the NFL really knowing what they're trying to do in the draft until the draft gets here.
Not just prides himself on it, Cole. OD about it. Like, there's been some shit they absolutely could have let us know that they just chose not to. Like, straight up. It's like, why didn't you even tell us that? Like, it doesn't make sense that you didn't, but they just are so dedicated to it, to a point that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, like, especially when you talk about injuries and things like that, like, you just want some transparency. Like, bro, can we just get some transparency about what's going on, please? Like can you just tell us? It would have
benefited them to leak something out to say, hey, dog, we not doing this Deshaun thing. They let that all up to context clues, right? Like, they would have got a PR boost from doing that, right? If they would have leaked that out. So it's like, only things that leak out of Paris are very intentional, right? When people were trying to fire the coach and GM last year, and all of a sudden, you know, Jay Glazer's like, nah, they ain't doing that.
Not even just Jay Glazer, but like everybody. Yeah. Like everybody was like, no, they're not getting fired.
Yeah.
Albert Breer, all of them, they're not getting fired.
It's usually very intentional.
Yes, extremely intentional. So I want people to think about that. Like, everyone is everyone. When I say everyone, I mean everyone. Hell, me and Q know that they want to draft Cam Ward. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody is saying coming out of the combine. Why would they want everyone to know that? Who does it benefit the most? Put it like this. Who does it benefit the most if everyone believes the Cleveland Browns will take Cam Ward at number 2 if he's there? Who does that benefit the most?
Tennessee.
The Tennessee Titans.
Yes. Who are trying to trade that pick.
Who are doing everything they possibly can to trade that pick, and you know the Cleveland Browns don't leak shit.
Mm-hmm.
But now everybody knows that the Browns are going to take Cam Ward at 2 if he's there.
It's especially weird to leak that much out when you don't have control over that pick, right? Like when you don't have control over the destiny of Cam Ward. So why would you think about it like this? They need to make sure if they just want to take Cam Ward at 2, that Cam Ward does not go at 1. So if they really wanted to take Cam Ward, you would hear nothing about their interest about Cam Ward, because they need as many people as possible to think Cleveland ain't going to take Cam Ward. We can wait till 3. You know, they might even play games up to the point where if they were sold on him at the combine, they would have been like, hey, we're not even going to meet with Cam Ward. Just like throw that monkey wrench in there right now. Obviously, not a great way to go about it. But if you're that sold on a dude, you could play that kind of a game. This is why I look at some of the reports and like everybody being like, yeah, they're going to take Cam Ward. I'm like, this don't smell right. This smoke don't smell like it's coming from the places that I'm used to smelling the smoke from, right? Like this place, it smell
a little farther south.
It smell like some Tennessee hot chicken. It's some barbecue out there, right? Like it smell like Nashville to me.
Like it really doesn't make sense. And that's not to say that the Browns don't like Cam. I think they do like Cam. But the way that they've gone about it doesn't feel like a team that's really doing everything they possibly could to make sure they could actually draft him. Like if the Browns really wanted Cam, they would just trade up to 1 to take Cam. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they have any intention of doing that at all, actually.
They wouldn't do anything that would raise the market for Cam.
Yeah.
Right. Like even if they wanted to trade up, they would want to keep this low key. But this feels like a move being done for somebody to try to raise the market on Cam, which I find interesting, right? Like, why is somebody trying to raise up the market? And like, are the Browns willing to play along with this? Because they want Abdul Carter or something like that. Like what's going on there? Because also, like for the Browns, like you're trying to trade the number 2 overall pick too, I would presume, right? Unless you are sold on one of Travis or Abdul. And I'm gonna say it right now. This is my hot take, March 4th, 2025. I think the Browns want Travis. I think that is what they hope to get out of this, if I'm being honest with you. I think it makes sense that like they had that weird slip up where they look at him as a wide receiver. That's not something Andrew does, right? Like,
see, but you know what, Q? I hear where you're going with that, but I actually think they want Abdul. And the reason I think they want Abdul is because we haven't heard anything about that.
That's also true, right? Like there's a little bit of noise on Travis. There's absolutely nothing on Abdul.
Nothing on Abdul at all.
My gut I want Abdul. That's what my brain says. I want Abdul. My gut tells me they want Travis Hunter for whatever reason. Maybe it's just Andrew Berry and he loved them goddamn corners. And he also loves wide receivers who play just like Travis Hunter does. Like I could see him thinking to himself, maybe we could get like a quarter of an offensive player here and a defensive shutdown corner. And if you think that like, if that's another thing, if you truly think that like Travis Hunter can be productive on both sides of the ball, right? If you think he could be a 600-yard wide receiver and a shutdown corner full time, or a 1,000-yard wide receiver and a situational, maybe a third down DB for you, well, then he's worth whatever pick you take him with, right? If you think he can stay healthy throughout all of that. And like, I think the big thing on him for a guy who's played as many snaps, like I think people say his tape's got like 2 bad plays on it, like from this year. He's incredible, right? Like even as much as I like Abdul Carter, Abdul is special, a prospect at edge, right? Mm-hmm. But we ain't seen nothing like Travis, right? In college football before at the level that he did it. So I could see them being infatuated with Travis. I personally would like to go on the record saying I would be fine with either. I prefer Abdul because I know Abdul. I know what I could do with Abdul. Travis is a bit more of a question mark here. But I don't think either of those two will be wastes of those picks. And like, again, the more people argue against Abdul Carter, the more I'm saying like, yeah, he's going to be really good because these arguments are terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst argument. It's just people making up bullshit arguments for not drafting him because they want to draft a quarterback. I wish you would just say that you want them to draft a quarterback and just leave it at that, because at least I can respect that. You know what I mean? I can respect you saying we need a quarterback. I want us to take a quarterback. We need like an edge isn't going to help us because we need a quarterback. At least I can understand that. But when you start talking about he's undersized,
when you start trying to rationalize it, right, with bad logic, that's where I'm like, okay, now you're
people thought he's undersized. He's not undersized at all. They said he's the new one I heard is that he's injury prone. No, he's not. That man missed one game in his college career due to injury, and he played the next game with one arm and dominated the college football playoff. He is not injury prone at all.
How do you get injury prone?
I'm like, what? He's not injury prone at all. That's not the thing.
Yeah, like I knew what it was when like he came in and said he was 248, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh!" I'm like, y'all so thirsty. Like y'all are so thirsty to find any flaw.
Penn State had him listed at 252. So you telling me he's undersized now because he lost 4 pounds?
Hey, by the way, confirmed that man has a squat rack in his living room. My guy, my kind of guy. Squat. That man don't got a couch. He got a squat rack in his living room. Come on.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
And I think last year it's confirmed he squatted over like 500. So he's probably like 600 now, maybe 650. And that's another thing about being undersized. Okay, height and weight matter, but like a lot of other things matter. I have heard this lazy ass comp about Obo Okoronkwo. Right, we're like, well, he's only an inch bigger than Obo, and he's only a couple pounds heavier than Obo, and Obo's not a 3-down guy. And I have to ask this question: do you think that's why Obo's not a 3-down guy? Is the size alone? Like Obo got every other skill, but the size, and that's why Obo is not. Or maybe Obo just can't convert speed to power well. Maybe Obo can't dip well. Maybe Obo don't got bend, right? And I don't want to disrespect Obo Okoronkwo because I like him, but people using his size and weight as a limiting factor when the traits are obvious: the bend, the quickness, the hands, the accelerated learning he's demonstrated at Penn State, where he's only had his hand in the ground 1 year and he's gotten to the level that he's gotten to where he is super polished as a pass rusher. The fact that he's converted speed to power on 330 pounders and won, and he's so strong in his base that you can rarely push him out of his lane. So what's undersized about his game? Like people just look at a stat sheet or look at a spreadsheet and they say, oh, he's undersized. You got to ask yourself, does he play undersized? He does not play undersized, right? Oh. So I'm not concerned about whether his weight is or is not where you want it to be, because there's nothing about his play style that makes me concerned if he's too tall. Hell, I think him being 6'3" and not 6'6" is good because he can just bend and get so small that you literally can't push him.
He can just get under dudes.
Yeah. He can just make himself so small of a target for these linemen to hit, and he's so fast that it doesn't matter that he's not giant because he can get around them. No, it's a fascinating thing where like people will talk themselves out of a prospect who truly belongs in that top 5 to convince themselves to take another prospect while also ignoring all of the flaws that the prospect they want to take has. Because I don't know how you can point out all this shit about Abdul Carter and then not have concerns about a quarterback at 2 in this year's class, because like you're choosing to draft flaws at the quarterback position and hoping that it works out, right? Cam Ward, there's a lot there that I'm not sure you could correct because he's played a lot of football.
50 fumbles in college. Nobody ever talks about it.
Yeah.
Nobody ever mentions it. Nobody says one thing about it.
We talk about Shador's fumbles more. And look, I would be concerned about Shador fumbling in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. But Cam, yeah. Because Cam be taking them hits.
Mm-hmm.
Cam take them crazy hits. Cam does the stuff that Deshaun Watson did where I'm like, hey, man, you're going to keep getting hit by like defensive linemen because you're rolling out a lot.
Scam Ward is just so funny to me.
See, I'm not going to go that far.
Scam Ward. Like, I don't believe that, but it's just a funny name. It's just a funny name.
It is a funny name. Shador don't got a similar acronym that you could throw on him. But yeah, I don't want to make it seem like I think Cam Ward and Shador Sanders will never be productive members of the NFL. There's a chance. They go to the right situation, they could be good. But I don't know. You're talking about taking them at 2? I'm real hesitant about that. I just have too many hangups. If it were me in that chair, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself to do it. And look, I want to take a quarterback because just like all of y'all, I want to stop talking about quarterback all the time. right? Like, I understand that going into a year with like Kirk Cousins, dog, like, oh, it ain't great.
It's not.
But it's just that kind of year. Like, it's just that kind of year. Like, we looking for great situations and to feel great about a position. It's like, where's that going to come from, bro? Sometimes you just got to play blackjack with the hands of your card. Oh, no, not blackjack. Sometimes you just got to play spades with what you got. Can't renege, right? And y'all asking me to renege right now, right? Like, y'all asking me to act like that's like I ain't had nothing in my head other than that spade. And that's just crazy to me.
Spades references. Yeah, here we go.
We back, y'all. We warmed up. You know what I mean?
Spades references. Okay, we back.
Look, I go to spades references all the time. I once ranked the entire NFL quarterback with spades cards. Like, yeah, that's a low spade right there. Justin Herbert.
He like a mid spade. He like a
And then like what? Kyler Murray, King of Hearts.
Yeah,
he'll win the hand in his region unless something like great come along. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. I just wonder how much better the Browns could be if they got a 10 of hearts in there at quarterback instead of that 3 at quarterback, whatever suit other than spade that they was rocking out there last year. Like, I just wonder how many more hands we can win. You know, I feel like we could win a significant amount of more hands if we just not out here playing the worst card possible on every hand.
You say he's a 3 any suit.
3, no, except for a spade. Yeah, 3 diamonds. Can't do shit. Deuces ain't nothing you can do with a 3 or a 4, right? Like,
just toss it out. Just throw it out. Get it out of here.
Just, all right, bro. Like,
you got this one.
you get that hand with all of that, you having to control how you look at that card because you don't want to let nobody know you got ass in your hand. Like,
nah, not me. I'll let you know immediately. I ain't got shit. I ain't got shit.
How many books you got? 1 in a possible.
I don't even say that. I'll be like, we going board.
Wow.
We going board.
Yeah. I just wonder how much, like, because like if you can get that out the quarterback position, I do think the Browns could be a much better team than they were last year. And I think if you draft the quarterback, you're going to be better next year, no matter what you do at quarterback. You're going to be better. Like, if you start Jacoby Brissett for 17 games, I promise you that's better than what Deshaun was doing. That being said, like, you still want to be over 500, right? Like, you don't want to be a miserable football team next year. So it's a tough spot because I get the need. The Browns and the Giants, they need to get a quarterback sooner than later. But it's a bad year to need it. And you know what? I'd rather take my chances with the field and see than do what the Giants might do. Right? Like, yeah, because I'm like, oh boy, they the team that makes all the mistakes, right? I ain't trying to do it. If the Giants are trying to do some shit, you should probably not want to do it.
You should definitely not want to do it.
Yeah.
Definitely not want to
Speaking of some shit the Giants did, got rid of Saquon. Talk me out of it, Colb. I can't help but feel like we are making a mistake here by letting Nick Chubb walk in free agency.
Are they really letting him walk?
That was a very definitive eulogy that Mary Kay wrote.
She did. She did make it seem like it's over.
She didn't make it seem like it's over, brother. The quote is specifically, let me pull it up for everybody. The quote is specifically, it is the end of the era of Nick Chubb in Cleveland. And it's sad that it has to end this way, full stop. She said probably one time.
Yeah, man, that's pretty definitive. That's pretty.
Mary Kay be trying to cover her ass. She the queen of like, maybe this and this it's possible, right? She don't say nothing definitive unless she know. And look, after this combine where all the running backs look like that, I'm like, yeah, I know why it's pretty definitive. The Browns ain't trying to pay for a running back.
Why? Well, you could just draft 2 and be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just wanted to keep Nick Chubb out there for morale purposes. Now, if you're willing to let Nick Chubb walk, I wonder what that means for like, hey, do you feel like you can get this new deal done with Miles? Because like you can't lose them both.
Yeah, you can't lose them both. So like if you lose them both, the fan base is just going.
It's gonna be a rough year, bro.
It's gonna be a rough year. It's gonna be a rough year. But
they still ain't forgave Mike Lombardi for letting go Bernie Kosar when Bernie Kosar was cooked. Like I have to imagine losing both of these guys. It's just it don't matter what you do, dog. They gonna hate you.
Somebody said, "Oh, they losing both." LOL. I don't think they're losing Miles, bro. Like, I don't think Miles is going anywhere.
You can't voluntarily like trade Miles and lose Nick Chubb in the same offseason. Like that's.
I don't think they have no intention of trading Miles. And listen, if Miles wants to be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, he's gonna be that. As far as the Browns are concerned. Like it's probably coming down to a number. The Browns, we know the Browns are cap strapped, so like they probably try to keep the numbers as low as it can be. But Miles is represented by Clutch Sports, so it's not going to be as low as it can be.
Well, the base salary is going to be low, right? And maybe the first year is going to be, we know how they do this, dog.
You know how they do this.
And it ain't going to have, I think if you're Miles, you probably want them to put a lot in a bonus in that third year. Like here's how I would play it if I'm Miles Garrett. I want to get one of 3 things, possibly 2 of these 3 things if I can get them. If I'm trying to negotiate out this situation, right? Obviously the money, they're like, regardless, even if you didn't want to be traded, you want the money. So you're going to get the money. That's not even a given on this. One of the 3 things I want to get. 1, I want to have a very heavy incentive for the team to let me go if I want to be gone in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So have all this money, be on a bonus in the 3rd year of this deal, right? So that I basically got to play out the 2 years on new money, new guaranteed money, and then that year, if I want to go, y'all going to be more willing to let me go because there's a massive incentive for y'all to let me go. Or you can work out a deal. They could do with the money what they want, but you get a no trade clause. So that if you do choose to want to go next time, you have some power to force your way to where you want to go to. Similar to how Deshaun Watson worked out his thing, right? Where Deshaun got a no trade clause. And did he have a no trade clause?
Yes.
He had a no trade clause in his contract. And work that in there. You could get a no tag clause too, so you could just straight up hit free agency. That's a little bit more rare than a no trade clause.
I don't think they would give him that.
A no tag clause? No, I don't see them doing that.
I don't see them giving a no trade clause either.
They might have to.
Oh, to keep him?
To end the negotiations, right? Because I do think it's going to be something more than money that has to end it. And Miles has to feel like, hey, if I'm going to give this 2 more years, if I want to go, I should be able to, I ain't got to wait. I'm not about to get traded to Jacksonville. Like, I should be able to go where it is that I want to go. If I do this, if I sign this damn deal and I want to go in 2 years because y'all ain't got no quarterback still, I should be able to go where I want to go to. Like, I think that's a fair trade. The Browns get 2 years to convince him that they can build a winner around him. 2 to 3 years to convince him. And Miles gets the leverage to say, hey, if I want to go, I can choose where I want to go. Y'all can still run the price up, right? Whatever, do what you want, right? Because if I get that the no tag clause, the least likely one, because that just kills, they don't have any leverage, right? But a no trade clause, you still get to trade him. He just gets to pick where he gets traded to. I think that is the way that you solve this because the Browns have to give up something. I think that part is clear. I think that's why, like, when it was just like, oh, he's going to sign a new contract, they came out so heavily against the ideal of that in the media. Like, the report dropped almost immediately as the news hit the ground. And I'm like, they're probably trying to force Cleveland is like, and they can. Like, I think that's what they have the leverage to be able to force themselves into. The Browns don't want to deal with this. They don't want to have the story of like losing their best running back or the running back, one of the faces of the franchise, while the other one being a limbo. They want to end this as soon as possible. This is how you end it as soon as possible. You give them the money. The money should hold you over for the short term. Long term, okay, man, we'll give you a no trade clause. That way you have some security and we can just be on good terms. And we're just going to bet on ourselves to get us into a better situation in the next couple of years. You know, maybe that's we get Lenore Sellers and we rolling, or we get Kay Klubnik and we rolling, or we get Cam Ward and we rolling, we get Shador and we rolling. But I think right now the Browns have no way of getting him to sign an extension without a string attached this offseason, because they just came off a 3-win season. He's like, what the fuck you gonna sell him? You won 3 games last year. So I think that's the most realistic way this ends, because Miles wants to play this year. It does him no good to play on this deal. So you might as well get a new deal. But also, if you're the Browns, you want some security for the next couple of years. So you're not, you go 500 next year. Miles wants out, you know, and it becomes this whole thing you deal with every other year. You want like at least a few years of peace there. So you can focus on building this thing how you want to. Because who the fuck gonna want to come and they think Miles gonna leave any second.
Right.
So yeah, you got to do something about it. And I think that's the something you can do about it. That's just my speculation. I'm not saying like I've heard. No, I ain't hear shit about that. That's just my speculation. Just looking at the common sense of this, like, hey man, how did both sides agree to something here? I think that's the only way that both sides come to an agreement this offseason.
We'll see. I think money talks at the end of the day.
If you can make money talk, that is the best case scenario for Cleveland. Because, like, I mean, then you won, right? But if money ain't going to talk, then you need something else to throw on there. And I think if you throw that on there, that'd be enough. Miles won't be happy, but I'm like, hey, that's the art of compromise, baby. Ain't nobody happy, okay? But you can live with it, right? That is the art of negotiation, right? Hey, you've done negotiations, I've done negotiations, and you know, the better ones usually end with you being like, all right, you know, I can live with it, right? Like, sure, fine.
Fine.
Yeah, that is the intended result of a negotiation. It's like, all right, because you negotiate because you're like, hell no, dog, y'all tripping, and you go from hell no to I, man. Like,
you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day.
Hey, that should be your goal. You should ask for it. By the way, if you ever go into negotiation, think about what you want and then add something to it, right? They'll tell you no. Right? Don't worry.
Then you start taking stuff away, and then you right back to where you actually wanted to be in the first place. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Let them tell you no. That's my number one advice in the negotiation. They'll tell you what they could do, right? You know, but don't ever try to make it easy for the person that you are competing against. You wouldn't go into a basketball game trying to spot somebody points if you're trying to win, right? Same way you shouldn't do that. We've been conditioned to spot them points. It's crazy, right? I want to be reasonable. No, ask for what you want, and then they can make a decision. They can't fire you because you ask for more. Okay, like
no, you be reasonable after you get some demands met, and you be like, okay, we try to get over the finish line. Then you try to be reasonable.
I will be reasonable in pursuit of a compromise.
Yes.
Okay.
You're not reasonable to start. You need to be outrageous. Like
I would not be reasonable in my offer though.
like for example, like saying I want you to trade me to a contender when I have absolutely no leverage and there's absolutely nothing they can force.
And the compromise is I might get traded to a contender in 2 years because I have a no trade clause. So always have that in my back pocket. Boom. It's not fuck yeah, I want that. No, but it's like, all right, man, this is what we got. We got you a bunch of money and a no trade clause. You can't fire your agent over that. Like,
He won't go fire his agent anyway. She like the best agent in the league.
Yeah, look. That's what you get. That's how you work this one out, right? A good compromise should make you feel like how me and Cole feel right now, which is like, I'll take it, right? Like, if you the Browns, you'll take it. If you Miles, you'll take it.
I ain't gonna lie though, the Chubb stuff makes you more sad than anything, just because of like what he meant and how good he was, obviously before the injury. But like, it's kind of hard to not see that it is the correct business decision to make at this point. It's the correct decision to make at this point. If you just look at everything, he's 30. He's coming off of his second now, like complete knee reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a phenomenal running back draft. Like there's 25 running backs who are good. Like, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not that much, to be completely honest with you. Like there's a ton of running backs who are good, even headed into like day 3. There's so many good ones.
Hey, you know how you can make people forget that you got rid of Nick Chubb?
Draft Omarion Hampton.
No. You ain't thinking about the fan base side of this. Don't make them learn nobody knew. Travion Henderson, come on down, right? Come on. Y'all remember Travion, don't y'all? Hey, fuck it. Bring back Quid too, right? Go swing back around in the 4th or 5th. Bring Quid in too. Be like, hey, y'all remember this worked at Ohio State, right? All right, it's the new Chubb and Hunt. Which, by the way, great comp for Quinshawn, Kareem Hunt, right?
People were saying that, hey, he ran a lot faster than I thought he would in 40.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Like, that 40 was so much faster than I thought he would be that I thought he was injured at Ohio State the whole year. I'm like, was he injured? He wasn't. Right?
Like 4.4, because he ran a 4.48. Travion only ran a 4.43.
Yeah. Let me tell you something though. You watch the tape.
Travion is much faster. That's why I was shocked. I was like, no, there's no way he's only
and then like Quinn is 20 pounds heavier too, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But I'm gonna trust my eyes on that tape. Something he might be one of them dudes who faster in the track than he is on the field. Like,
I was sitting there like, I was like, there's no way Travion is only 0.05 seconds faster than Quinn. There's no way.
And the split was the same. Well, that makes sense. The 10-yard split being the same.
Yeah, 10-yard split being the same makes sense. But I was like, nah. Like that looked different on the field.
It does.
But listen, you could take them both. You could take them both and be fine. You could listen, Caleb Johnson, he only ran a 4.58. You know what I'm saying? That didn't bother me at all. But I know there's gonna be people like, oh, I don't know. Let him fall. Let him fall to 3rd round, please.
I was worried about that, and I brought that worry up to JP Acosta, and JP went, I'm taking them.
Yeah, facts. This is the second person saying that to you. I'm drafting.
Oh, like that split was low. It was like, oh, dude,
I don't give a shit.
All right. I mean, like,
Please.
Even outside of those guys, I think DJ Giddings, super underrated guy. RJ Harvey, I think he's flying under the radar. Trevor Etienne is flying under the radar. And I'm like, Trevor Etienne is pretty good, y'all. Like, I think Trevor Etienne's in the top 5.
Wasn't he hurt? Was he hurt?
He was hurt at Georgia. He also had a suspension at the beginning of the season. So maybe that's factoring in. Remember, for racing.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, that was half the University of Georgia team.
I'm about to say the typical Georgia activities, racing.
It's crazy. It is. I mean, like, I live in Georgia, so like the race culture here is a little bit insane. They need to do something about it. Like, they need to do something about it. You'll just be walking down the street and then like you'll see people race, and I'm like, this is nuts. Okay, somebody's gonna die. Like,
somebody's gonna die. It's crazy.
No, like, it's serious. You see people do this shit, and it's like when people are like crossing the street.
Nah, that's
like,
insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it's like they're doing this in traffic. God forbid. Have you ever driven in a highway here in Atlanta?
No.
Don't do it. Okay.
So Q, you basically saying it's Fast and Furious in Atlanta with Hellcats and Challengers and things like that?
I'm telling you this, and I swear to God, if y'all ever come to Atlanta, y'all will see exactly what I'm talking about. There are literal like street racing gangs in Atlanta that like they drive by and they're in a street racing gang because they have the symbol of the gang on their car. Like it's fucking Fast and Furious.
Hey, Curtis. I
am
quick.
Dead serious.
Real quick. Domo is confirming in the comments. He is in the chat. He is saying yes, all caps. That is a thing that is happening.
They got
Domo confirmed the boot man. Okay, like when I tell you the city is not a real place. Okay. Yes.
Hey, I have a question for Curtis. Why did you assume that they were driving Hellcats and Challengers, brother? Why did you assume?
Because they are, Cole. Because they are. What are you talking about? Nah, they are.
Because I've been to Atlanta before. I have not seen a GTR on the street.
All blacked out Hellcat or yes, Cole. I see like 12 of them when I go to Target. Okay. I can take you to 2 Targets right now. We'll see 40 Hellcats. I don't even register it anymore. When I see, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's fucking Hellcat. Cool. Like, nah, man. I'm telling you, it's out of control.
I can tell this. I can tell this bit on your spirit.
Just imagine
this bit on your spirit.
Bruh, if I have kids, I'm not living in the perimeter, dog. I'm not about to drive through that shit with my children. That's nuts. Nah, it be out here crazy, dog. Crazy. And sometimes it don't even be the people in the Hellcat driving like that. It be somebody in the fucking Honda Civic, just like swerving through traffic at 90. I'm like, what the fuck is you even thinking about doing? You just dreaming. Like, nah, it's.
Domo said, bro, they giving away Hellcats and Chargers.
I bet all them shits go back to when they was giving out them PPP loans. Okay, like
wow, you had to bring up the PPP. That's crazy.
Yeah. Look, I bet all them Hellcats 2021. I promise you. I promise you. Yes.
I hate myself for not getting involved in the PPP scam. I hate myself for not getting involved.
Cove, you on air, dog.
Bro, you know how many people I know got them loans forgiven? I'm so sick.
I know nobody who has participated in such a thing. You know, like
yes, I'm hating.
Yes, I'm hating. I know nothing. If I know nothing about any of that, this is the first I'm hearing of PPP fraud. That was going on. But yeah, man, yeah, it's insane out here. I don't know how we was talking about damn Trevor Etienne. Yeah, they need to just stop letting people drive these cars, dog. They need to just put a block on them. Like, nah, no more, dog. You need to have a CDL. Okay.
Someone said, but they race in Atlanta station all day, every day. Y'all over there suffering.
Bro, it's terrible. Yeah, I just be like, you don't know how many times, Cole, I'm just sitting by and I just say, I'm like, oh, somebody racing. I know what it sound like, dog. Like, I know what it sound like when somebody go over a pothole at 120. Okay? Not a gunshot. Somebody just drove over a pothole super fast. Like,
just know if you see a Charger pull up to you on a red light and they start revving your engine, just don't do it. Don't do it.
They know who they gonna race, right? Like, it's never really random. It's like they go out there, they find a straight, and they just race. And I'm like, all right, bro, y'all trip. I used to live like right on Roswell, and that was crazy. Nah, I was like, because it was a hill that they used to like to fucking race down. Like, it's insane. I lived at the top of it. I'm not about to die because y'all want to race. Like, that's insane. But yeah, man, yeah. It's crazy. It is a crazy problem here in Georgia. They need to do something about it.
Oh man.
They need to ban the import. They need a tariff. Okay.
They need a tariff.
They need to tariff imports of Hellcats into Atlanta. Okay. A 50% tariff. All right.
Like 50% tariff.
Yeah,
they gonna find another alternative. You know, they can find.
We gonna tariff that too, dog. It's gonna be nothing you could drive here except for minivans and fucking Hondas. Okay.
They can customize Hondas too.
Don't let me become the governor. Don't let me become the governor of Georgia, bro. I am cracking down. Okay. I am cracking down. All right.
Now, when you see Honda Civics racing in the street, just know it's your fault. It's your fault.
They're not gonna race. They're gonna drift. They're gonna change it up a little bit. They're gonna race and drift. So pick your poison. Choose what you want to do.
I'd rather have that than a fucking muscle car going 300 miles per hour down the street. At least you got a chance if a Honda Civic hit you. Like.
You say you got a chance?
Yeah, at least you got a chance. It's built lower, like you don't smack right into the face of it. Nah.
I don't know about that one, brother. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, man. Them Japanese imports, you sleep on them Japanese imports. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go against my mama homeland. We gonna put a tariff on all that Japanese shit, brother. I know how the Japanese get down. Y'all love the fucking race up there. Nah. We only importing no German cars. Nah, we only importing slow ass Ford. So we're gonna make Ford bring back 4-door cars. That's what we gonna do. Ford Focuses and Tauruses, cop cars. Okay, that's all we dropping out here. No Impalas, none of that. I grew up in Cleveland too. I know what y'all be doing with Impalas. Okay, no Monte Carlo. Nah, we out here driving. We driving work cars, bruh. Work cars.
Work cars.
Yeah, don't put nothing on it. No tents. No muffler adjustments.
Oh, okay. Wow. You've thought about this for a long time.
Oh yeah, you're not raising raising your wheel case. Nope. You're not raising your wheel well. None of that. Not putting big ass rims in your small car. Nope. And if you got a truck, that shit not sitting as high as it is because these trucks be sitting too goddamn high in Georgia too. That'd be the other thing too. It's just too much stunting going on. And I'm like, who y'all stunting for? Usually be other dudes. Anyways.
Is there anything else you have on your heart that you would like to get off your chest before we start talking about other things?
Nah, not yet.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Just wanted to make sure. Can we talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers now, or?
Yeah, let's get the Cavs, man. Let's talk about the best team in the NBA.
Oh man, they are the best team in the NBA.
They walked really down the Celtics. Hey, and I might add this. They kind of walked down the Celtics easy. Like, the Celtics got on that run, but they got that shit down to like 13 quick.
Yeah.
It was like 8 DeAndre Hunter minutes.
After that first quarter, it was like they just locked in immediately.
I would say after the 7-minute mark of that first quarter, because that's when they went up 25-3, and then they locked in defensively, and I think they outscored Boston by a significant margin for the end for that second half of that quarter, and then for the rest of the game, obviously they did too. Now the Boston came out in that third quarter. I thought it was over because they went up 18 again.
Yeah,
but then they just came back, bro. Like, and it. I think there is something to Boston going up 20 against you every time that should be concerning the Cavs fans. I also think there should be something about the Cavs being able to walk down Boston as easily as they've been able to walk down Boston every time they played them. That should be concerning to Boston.
Yeah, every single game, Boston has gotten up big, and every single game, the Cavs came back and made it a game towards the end. That first game they lost, the only reason they got like 3 of 22 or 3 of 21, something terrible, and they lost that game by like 3 or something like that.
And they came back by 20. Yeah,
they came back and they were in it. So I do think there is something to like. It's kind of like in every NBA game when you see your team get up by a big margin, like super early in the game, and in the back of your mind you're like, oh shit, might have might have done this a little bit too early. It's like the first quarter, you up by 20, you're like, I don't know. That it feels unsafe. That's what every Cavs Celtics game feels like.
Well, when they went up that fast that early, I was thinking in the back of my head, there's no way they hold a 20-point lead for 3 quarters against the Cavs. Like, they're not going to maintain this lead. The Cavs are going to get this shit within 10. Like, that's way too much time left in this game. And I do think for as much as the Celtics like are prone to getting super hot versus the Cavs for a quarter or two, the Cavs have this ability to not really be intimidated by it that I do think is interesting, right? Because what they do when they get this is they just slow it down and just start getting those interior buckets they know they can get against Boston. Now, again, a lot of this, you got to make sure you could do that against Kristaps, right? If Kristaps is going to be healthy for Boston, I think that is a difference maker. But they've come back from 20 with Kristaps out there, right? So I think that's interesting. Also, hey, man, it's not a coincidence. They check in DeAndre Hunter. That lead starts to shrink almost immediately.
I do think that one thing that's going to be interesting if they see each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, because the way the standings are, they would have to play each other in the Eastern Conference Finals. I do think it's going to start. Not even that. I do wonder how much they can play Jarrett Allen in the series.
Yeah,
because this feels like a Mobley at the 5 series to me.
Also, I wonder if they're going to have to switch their shifts because they can't run that Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen shift as is, especially when Tatum's on the floor, because they just went straight at that shift. Both results of that pick and roll, they felt comfortable taking advantage of.
Yeah, and that's part of the Cavs strategy too, though, is they feel like the only way you can beat Boston, you have to let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown go one-on-one all game. And you gotta live and die because they're gonna hunt the switch every time. Every time they hunt the switch with Darius, or they hunt the switch with Jarrett Allen and try to get Tatum on. You try to get Tatum on Darius, or you try to get Tatum on Allen.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Darius because that's gonna be a physical series for him to have to get out of. Because like he's not gonna get any credit. They're gonna be talking about him getting cooked, but he just has to provide some resistance.
But this is the thing though. You gotta make him shoot the ball. Which is what he did that last. He had 40. I think he had 45 or something like that.
He had 40 shots. Yeah,
38. He took 45 points to 38 shots. You see what I'm saying? Something like that. That's what you want though. Like you want him shooting the ball constantly, every single time. And if he get 50, he get 50.
Because Jared was getting cooked, but the shots he were giving up, I didn't have a problem with because it was like, okay, he beat you on the mid-range jumpers, stepping back. That's a hard fucking shot. This game, I'm not going to lie. It looked like Kobe. Like, I was like, oh, he's shooting like Kobe tonight. This is going to be tough to beat him. And he made most of them shots. He made some tough buckets. But you were getting him to shoot tough buckets. And if you do that over 7 games, you feel good about him having more than a few bad games.
But if you look at it in the first half and the second half, he was missing way more of those shots in the second half than he was in the first half. He had 30. What did he have in the first half? He had like 32,
39 and 8.
Like he was cooking them. But in that second half of the game, he was missing. He was still taking a bunch of shots, but he was missing more of the shots. You know what I'm saying? They were getting rebounds, and then the Cavs were making shots on the other end. Donovan Mitchell has destroyed the Celtics in every single game, by the way. I don't know if we talked about that.
He's averaging, 35?
So it's got to be more than 35. It's got to be more than 35 at this point. He has fried them every single time. The difference in a series to me is a couple things. One, they have DeAndre Hunter now. He's going to make a difference. You know, he's absolutely going to make a difference in how the Celtics guard them, and also like the lineups that they can throw out, because they threw out the lineup. I believe it was Evan, DeAndre, and Dean Wade were all out there at the same time.
And you talking about the small lineup at the end of the game?
Yeah, and you can't even really call them small because, like, I think Dean's like 6'9" or 6'9" or 6'10" or something like that. DeAndre 6'8", and like Evans obviously 6'11", like 7 foot. So that was their best defensive lineup to me. And I think that's what they're going to have to do at the end of games or like the end of quarter, like the end of the half, to be able to like play with them. Because when they have Jared out there, and this is no disrespect to Jared, I just feel like it's a bad matchup for him, to be completely honest. Like, they're hunting him out there. They're hunting him out there, and they also know that, like, he can't shoot. Like, there's just certain things that he can't do. And this one particular team is a bad matchup for him. But I thought the DeAndre minutes were like really, really, really encouraging. And I think he's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I'm positive. I mean, look, no trade has demonstrated its value as quickly as DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs has demonstrated its value. Like almost immediately, we were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, listen, certain people were saying they need a wing for years, literally years. They need to go get a wing. And they got one for damn near nothing, by the way. They gave up absolutely nothing to get DeAndre Hunter.
With 2 expirings?
George Niang and Karis LeVert and some swaps, I think. Second-round pick swaps that the Hawks are absolutely never going to get because they're never going to be better than the Cavs, at least not anytime soon. And they have just destroyed everybody.
Yeah, it's been a flip. It's been a flip. They've been able to play bad and beat good teams.
Yeah, even like against the Trailblazers last game. How much did DeAndre have? Like 35?
Yeah, like 35. Ty had like 26. I don't think Donovan played that game, and Darius was bad, I think, in that one. So was Jared Allen.
It's Mobley was fouling a lot, but he didn't play bad. But he was like,
Mobley had like 20. But isn't it crazy how we don't even notice the Evan Mobley 20-point games anymore? Like it used to be a thing when Evan would get 20. We were like, uh-oh, the offense is coming. But now Evan gets 20, and we're like,
meh.
Yeah, we expect that.
Probably should have had 25. Yeah. Like it's like that now. You know what I'm saying?
But he was good in the fourth quarter of that game before he got ejected. Well, before he got fouled out.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't even blame a lot of those fouls on him. The officiating in that game was just terrible. It was
hey, think about that though. The Cavs used to be victims to that kind of shit, right?
Yeah,
they aren't victims. like bad officiating, horrible game from two of your starters, and just a night where Scoot Henderson making some bullshit. Like the Trailblazers are playing way better than they ever play, right?
Didn't he had a triple-double for the Trailblazers or something like that?
Yeah, it was like, oh wow, we're getting bullshit today, right? The refs are on bullshit. It felt like it, and they just like Ty Jerome comes out there and decides it's not going to happen, right? Gets a turnover, makes a couple threes, bring that thing within 13 to end of fourth, and I was like, oh, we are the team that like. I think that was a big switch for me where I was like, oh shit, we're doing that thing. Where like now this team starts to like get nervous. Now they're choking. Now they're like throwing possessions away. But to give Portland their credit, they made some big ass shots down the line. Like they were not trying to lose this game. It was cooking. Anthony Simons was on my fucking nerves. Like all of this stuff was going down, and they still withstood it and won.
What's the dude's name? I think it's Termaine or let me look at this. Let me look at the Trailblazers roster because he was locking up, bro. I'm like, hey man. I was like, hey, there's some all defensive teams in your future, dog. I ain't even gonna lie.
That's the thing about the Cavs. It's like even when teams give them their best shot, they don't succumb to it like they did in previous years. Hell, look at the shot they took from Tatum against the Celtics. Where like, that was his season high. That's the best game Jason Tatum has had all season. And like arguably one of the better games that Jaylen Brown had is too. I know that Drew wasn't out there and Kristaps wasn't out there, but you're not going to get a double 40-point game essentially from those two players every night. And to be able to withstand that, I know Boston is not going to say anything publicly, but you have to look at that and be like, that didn't beat them. Like that felt like it should have beat them, right? Like that feels a little different.
I'm not gonna lie. They are the only team, in my opinion, that can really give the Celtics a run. Like I think the Celtics would beat pretty much anybody else. Maybe not OKC. OKC is the one team where it's like I think they can win a title. I think they're kind of like overly reliant on Shea on offense. Like he damn near has to be perfect every game, and he has been all season. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been the best scorer in the league.
Do you think it's gonna be another one of them things where like, because I know this happened with Harden a lot, where like you get the foul calls in the regular season, but playoffs come around, you don't really get them, and because you're not going to the line as much, you're not as effective, or you can't control the game in a way that you're used to controlling the game. Do you like? Is it similar to that? Because like they're not the same exact player, but they do have that similarity.
I think it's a little bit different only because of the way he scores. Because he's so efficient in the mid range. You know what I'm saying? And like he gets to the basket so easily. Even when the foul calls go down in the playoffs, because that happens for everybody. Like the calls just go down. You don't get as many calls. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more physical. Like the Cavs know that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, and I love that the Cavs have finally like learned to adjust to that, because like these nights where they don't get these calls, they used to kill this team when I would watch them. Like they couldn't overcome it. Now they're just like, we're not getting the calls. We still gonna cry about, like we still gonna be mad about it, but we still gonna win the game though. We ain't losing no Trailblazers because of this.
I remember Charles Barkley was talking about them last year. He was like, the reason I don't really believe in the Cavs is because I don't think they have a lot of depth behind Mobley, Allen, Garland, and Donovan Mitchell. And for a long time, I felt like that was true. I felt like that was true, to be completely honest with you. I don't think that, like, it's clearly not the case anymore. Like, even like Max Strus, who I know people are critical of, I've been critical of at times, but he still has a skill set that benefits his team, especially when you look at him as a connector, as a secondary playmaker for others, especially for Evan and Jared Allen. He gets them so many easy shots. DeAndre Hunter is just a bucket. Like he come in the game and he just start frying.
Eventually he gonna have to come down to earth somewhat, but like I wonder what his come down to earth is, because he was shooting 40 in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's at like 60% from the 3-point range.
So I wonder, like, does he regress to like 45 on higher volume? Because I think he will be better in Cleveland than he was in Atlanta, because the quality of shot that he's getting here.
But I'm glad you said that, because that's the other part of it. Because like if you look at the Cavs, if you look at everybody, like we've been like, when is it gonna regress? When is the shooting kind of? It hasn't happened. Like like for the most part, it just has not happened. Evan, a little bit after the calf injury, like the shooting has kind of, because he was shooting over 40. I think he's at like 37 now or something like that.
Yeah, it'll happen in like bursts where like the Cavs will have a game every couple weeks where they shoot 20, 25, 29% from three. Right? Yeah, like they'll have a game every couple weeks where they do that. But they're still able to win those games though.
Yeah, because they can win games in multiple ways now. They can win games defensively. They can win games by just having Jared Allen and Evan Mobley destroy teams in the paint all game. You know what I'm saying? They can have a game. They still get crazy Donovan Mitchell games. You know what I mean? Like they get all of these different things. And like they're gonna be a tough fucking out in playoffs, man. Like they're gonna be a tough out in playoffs. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, they're very resilient too, which I think matters a ton in the playoffs, right? Like a lot of teams. Boston that was a demoralizing run Boston went on to start that game. To start the game, the crowd's when you're in TD Garden, right? This herald ground of basketball, right? You're probably getting flashbacks of New York and how shit went super bad in the Garden, and it felt like it was just everything feels like it's avalanching on you. And for them to be like, we good. Let's just get a couple buckets. And the next thing you know, they close that gap up against a team like, and look, Boston came out there trying to prove a point that you can't beat us. Right. Like, and I know people are like, it's low, like Brian Windhurst was talking about, it's low stakes because this game doesn't mean much in the standings. But I'm like, both teams went into their understanding. Boston didn't want Cleveland to go into a playoff series with them because they both understand that this is likely to happen. Right. Like they're on a collision course with each other. Boston doesn't want to have Cleveland go in there and think they can beat them. That's what that first quarter was about, was like, I want to send a message that we got two players that are better than your best player. And you can't beat us. That's the message they were trying to send. And Cleveland was trying to send a message that we're a legitimate threat to you, right? Both teams wanted to win that game more than the average regular season game. And it showed by the passion that was out there, especially in the first half, where Tatum is purposely doing the get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out, like doing all that shit, right? Taunting, all of that because he's trying to prove a point. And they proved that point in the first 7 minutes, Cole. Like, message was received. I was sitting there shook, like, damn, maybe Boston is a dynasty waiting to happen. But then the Cavs sent a stronger message in return. And I think that's interesting. I think, because look, you cannot tell me that the Boston just like sandbagged that game. They literally lost against Detroit because they were waiting to play this game. Like, they knew what it was. And this was it. We haven't even touched on this. They came back from 20 in Boston.
In Boston.
Yeah.
It's one thing to do that. It's one thing to do that at home with your crowd, you know what I'm saying? But just to hear the silence and that in that fourth quarter, like, oh shit.
Because you could feel it during the game after the first quarter, right? You could feel it up until the third quarter where the fans were like, why haven't we put them away yet? And then they went up 17 and they started to relax, right? They started to get excited. And then almost immediately the Cavs just snapped that lead away. Like, that's when the Cavs went on the run. They went down 18. You thought it was over, and then they just hit you with everything they had. And then that lead zips, and they're just sitting there like, what? They never got comfortable again in that game. Because I think the Cavs, once they took the lead, and this is another thing, once the Cavs took a lead, they did not relinquish it.
No.
It was either tied or they were up.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, the Cavs have been getting the 2015 Atlanta Hawks comparisons. That team
I would comp them to.
that team made the Eastern Conference Finals, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. But like, just want to throw it out there. They did make the Eastern Conference Finals, but they feel very much like Warriors-ish to me.
I would take it 1 year back to the team that won the championship before the Warriors won that one. The team that sent LeBron back home.
Oh, the Spurs?
Yeah. The 14 Spurs. Because I think in the same way that Kawhi was this piece that could get them over the top that wasn't fully developed yet, I think Evan's that for this team.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to him.
Yeah. Because like with the Warriors, it was like the Splash Brothers were Splash Brothers. Like Steph Curry, I believe he was the MVP that season, right?
Yes.
We ain't got nothing like that. Nobody's winning MVP on the Cavs. No disrespect to Donovan Mitchell. We ain't got no MVP on this team. Same way that the Spurs did not have an MVP candidate on that team. But Kawhi was this unicorn that was going to determine. I believe Kawhi was coming off the bench at the time, right?
I think he was starting.
He wasn't playing. He didn't play 40 minutes, I think, until the last 2 rounds. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but I remember Kawhi kind of like emerged during that season and then won Finals MVP there, right? I think in the same way that Kawhi had to win Finals MVP for the Spurs to win that championship, Evan's going to have to do something similar in order for the Cavs to win a championship, right? Evan's going to have a 25-point game and a great defensive effort versus Chris Stapps. Now, that's one of the things. If that happens in the playoffs, right, where like Evan has that kind of a game and like blocks Chris Stapps' shot, if I'm Boston, I'm starting to get super nervous because that was the one thing, right? I would already have reason to be nervous because you can't withstand a blow if Cleveland is healthy and you play them in the playoffs. Like this, I don't think this is a team. Like I don't think Boston can get by them if they don't have their full deck of cards available.
I think more than anything, they need Drew. Like I think they would need.
Yeah,
Drew.
Who know who Drew gonna be by that point?
You know what I'm saying? And I think they need Drew because I think even more important than Evan, I think the X factor in the series is actually Darius. Like I think he's the one who could tip it either way depending on how he performs. And in that last game, he was really, really, he was good. Like he was good. He figured it out in that second half. And he
has to offset what he's going to give up defensively because they're going to go straight at him, right? Like he has to justify being on the floor.
Like if Donovan's going to get 35, Darius got to get 20, 25. Like he has to.
Yeah.
And he has to have the assist, and he has to have the assist numbers and everything else. And then like he gonna get fried defensively just because he's short. It's not for lack of effort. He tries. He tries his best. He's always in he's in the right spots. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. But Jason Tatum is 6'10" and he is 6'1".
I'm not gonna sleep on like Darius Garland having one good defensive game versus Jason Tatum.
So you're talking about Jason Tatum missing shots. It's basically what you're talking about.
But is Darius there? And Darius is gonna be like.
So yeah, there probably will be a game where he's just missing shots.
The same way that Matthew Dellavedova got all that credit for Steph missing them shots. Like, hey, look, somebody had to run with him. It's a hard job. I ain't trying to do it. Like, hopefully
that game happens at a game where the Cavs are a win away from winning the series.
Most definitely, it feels like that would be like a home game, and then like definitely the same night as the random Ty Jerome 40 ball, right? Like, by the way, Cole, I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Ty Jerome's definitely going to be that one dude for the Cavs that like can absolutely just come out, give you a 20-point quarter and just change the playoff game. Like, we're going to look back at the Cavs do anything of note in the playoffs and be like, Ty Jerome was massive, was absolutely massive.
I don't understand why he doesn't get the 6th man of the year love. I mean, I know DeAndre's probably going to get it just because of his points per game average. But man, I don't think there's been anybody more impactful off the bench than Ty Jerome.
Ty, every time Ty make a shot, dog, it be right on time, even when he playing bad. Because he wasn't like for a little while, didn't look like he was gonna play good versus Portland, and then it just happened. Like, then it just happened. Like when I put out. Every once in a while, Ty Jerome would just turn into Luka Doncic for a quarter, and it's the best thing ever. And it's like, yeah, he just start making these floaters, like getting to the foul line a ton. Like,
I think somebody in chat correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he leads the league in 3-point percentage on like deep threes, like 30-foot, like. Yeah, those like what are you like those threes where you take them and you be like, what the fuck are you doing? I think he leads the league in percentage on those.
By the way, my brother Ty Jerome, dog, he got elite heat check sense because not only do he be taking them heat checks, he know just where to take them and just exactly how to act after he make them to demoralize a team, dog. Because these be so disrespectful. Like, I call them the Ty fuck you threes, right? Where I'm just like, all right, bro, he don't care nothing about your little comeback. He just smacked this 3. It was so disrespectful. And now he's looking at your bench talking shit.
No, but they need, honestly, I think the Cavs more than anything, they need that. Yeah, like, they need that attitude from players like fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like they needed, I feel like for the longest time they didn't have that. And now they have it. And I think it goes back to your resilience that we were talking about. Like, they finally have that now.
Yeah, Ty and DeAndre are like, oh, we back in Virginia, dog.
Like, dead ass. Like, they literally come off the bench and just be frying everybody. It's just like, I'm like, yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, look, DeAndre be making them 3-pointers off the dribble now. I didn't know we were trading for that. Like, I was excited about the trade. I didn't know he had that one. And look, I feel so good about every DeAndre Hunter 3.
Oh yeah, he shoot him and you like, yeah, that's going in.
It was like, oh my God, that's gonna smack the shit out the net. Like, yeah, it's that has been a great trade for Kobe Altman. You could just see it with this team. Can we talk about the least fortunate team in basketball right now?
Oh, I don't want to talk about the Mavericks.
I just feel bad for them at this point.
I do too, bro. Like, my dog Kyrie tore his ACL, bro. Can I say something? I just want to say something. Nico Harrison has caused the most unfortunate chain reaction I've ever seen in the NBA. Like, it has gone from just unbelievable that they traded Luka in the first place. Still can't believe it happened, by the way. Still can't believe they did that. They traded Luka. Anthony Davis's first game, he gets hurt. They said there was a report today that said he might be out for the year. Yeah, he might be out for the year. His first game, he played one game. He was already done. I think Gafford, who was their other center, he got hurt. He's out indefinitely. Derek Lively, which is their young center, who's really good. Before the Luka trade even happened, he got hurt. He's out indefinitely. They traded away what's his name? He's on the 76ers now. He just had a 40-point game, actually. Hold on, let me see.
Was it one of the Martin twins?
No. Let me see. See if I can find their players. They traded away Quentin Grimes. That's what they traded away. They traded away Quentin Grimes. You know what I'm saying? And now Kyrie Irving is torn his ACL.
Here's what I'll say about Dallas. Every once in a while, a team makes a decision that is so shocking that it feels like it's going against the will of the universe. And usually when that happens, you can feel the universe punishing that decision.
Yeah.
This feel like that. Like in the same way that when the Browns, they broke up that the will of the universe, when they dropped that money on Deshaun's door and said, no, you playing here, it feel like the universe been punishing us for that since that day. Because look, man, we had the same shit happen to us in 2022 and 2023. And in 2024, like, God, what the hell happened? Hey, man, this feel like one of them things where you really, the world did not want you to do this. Like, the energy feels bad. And I don't tend to be this spiritual of a person, but this shit makes me think that there was a plan the universe had, and it did not include Luka Doncic being traded to the Lakers for Anthony. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis. I'm tripping. I've been doing video recording basically since noon, so my brain's kind of fried right now. But yeah, it feels like the universe is saying no mas on this one, dog. Like I could not imagine that it went worse than this. And like the worst part is there gonna be a large swath of people, like at least with Deshaun Watson, people like, I didn't expect him to be that bad. Like that's crazy. Nobody expected that. Anthony Davis and Kyrie getting injured? Can't say that's shocking.
It's not shocking, bro.
That's the sad part about it. We all knew this was a possibility. And like, I'm not saying that like that should have factored in whether they made the move or not. And maybe Luka's lucked out on this situation because it seemed like the vibes are great in Los Angeles right now. And, he would be in this situation where it would just be Luka. But, man, I just feel like this is just the beginning of how bad this trade's going to go for Dallas, too. Because I don't see it getting better, and I can only see it getting worse.
Oh, it's going to get worse because from 2027 to 2030, they don't own any of their first round picks.
And AD, what, AD's like 30?
Yeah, AD might tell him, get me out of here at this point, to be honest.
Hey, man, Kyrie ain't above asking for a trade?
No, Kyrie has to opt in now because he had a player option. He had a player option for the year. And I thought he was going to decline. Like if he was healthy, I think he was going to decline it. But he just tore his ACL, so he's going to accept that now. He's about to opt in.
Yeah, but like, now you got to like play the whole season, wondering if Kyrie going to come back good from that ACL tear.
That's their problem. If I'm Kyrie, I'm like, that's not my problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like this just feels like it's just.
I think he's going to leave after that because there's a bunch of.
Dog, he's barely going to play next year.
Yeah, he's barely going to play. And then
30, 40 games.
He probably not even going to play that.
Yeah, man.
And he go dip.
I just feel bad for Dallas fans at this point because at least they had this season to look forward to when they made that trade. But
they were in the NBA Finals 9 months ago.
I come at you fast.
9 months ago in the NBA Finals.
And the thing is, they absolutely did not have to do any of this.
Mm-mm.
Like nothing, none of this needed to happen.
Nothing.
Nobody asked you to trade Luka. Hey, bro.
It sucks, man.
Hey,
it sucks, man.
Don't this feel like I don't even want to call it divine intervention, but it feels like something's intervening. This don't feel like no coincidence.
All I say is this: if the conspiracy theory that they're trying to move the Mavs to Vegas is a thing, they are doing a great job.
Let me turn on my rock salt lamp, dog.
They are doing a phenomenal job of getting this team to Vegas.
Hey, man, that's fascinating.
Did you see the video of the fans just leaving?
What are they gonna do?
Like they just left. They just straight up just like dipped out. I'm like, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it looked intentional.
We have seen in football what just trading somebody that the fans like for somebody who doesn't work out does to a fan base.
Yeah.
Like Baker ain't Luka.
No.
Now, could you imagine we had Joe Burrow? and did this shit. And then traded Joe Burrow for Deebo Samuel, and he gets hurt, and then like Nick Chubb gets hurt.
We'll never forgive this team.
Oh my God. I don't know. I just wow. I just feel bad for the fans.
Yeah, they don't deserve it, bro.
I feel bad for the people who invested their time into that team. We got questions, Curtis. Let's get to the super chats.
Ooh.
It's feeling like a 2-hour night.
Yeah, I can still like. I feel like my nose and everything. Like it's like, it might be that time.
Yeah, we're
gonna try to be out by 4:30.
We got about 7 of them. All right, the first super chat is
Curtis came out here with a Seattle Seahawks hoodie on.
Look, when I'm going through my sickness, I put on the hoodie that usually comes to mind. I'm like, I might as well just put this on. It's one of them days.
Is that your sick hoodie?
What do you mean?
You say sick. You think?
I mean, the sign. Y'all have not. Colb knows the signs. Q, you just figuring it out. You just slowly figuring out. It's like what we saw with John Cena at the Elimination Chamber. I'm slowly turning to that side. Y'all just don't know it yet. It's gonna surprise people.
You turning heel? You a Seahawks fan now? You turning heel?
Mm-hmm.
You've given up on the Browns? That's crazy.
Look. You could trade us. You could trade us. But you always gonna be for Cleveland, Curtis. It's gonna follow you. It's gonna follow you, dog. Yeah, you going next thing you know, y'all starting Drew Lock.
Hey, Drew
and
Lock
you try to get back into the club.
Hey, Drew Lock ruined the Eagles season that year, and I'm forever grateful for that.
All right.
You know what I mean? We'll let you back in. We'll let you back in when you want to come back. Don't worry.
Yeah, Curtis. You can always come home, you know. You and Miles. Look, we not fazed by this. What you gonna do? Play nowhere?
What you gonna do? Anyway,
yeah. We not accepting this request. You stay here, okay? How can we make you okay with that? With Kirk Cousins? Let's get Kirk Cousins to make this motherfucker okay. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, the first super chat is from
we
Small
gonna trade
Useless.
Cam Ward to the Seahawks for Geno Smith. Yeah, what you want now? What you want now?
I'll burn it down. I will burn everything down if that happens.
Well, Curtis hate Cam, boy. Curtis hate Cam.
Yeah. Last Cam, man. Y'all can't see Zach Wilson and Cam, man. Y'all just don't see it. He's Zach Wilson with more swag to it. Convince me otherwise.
But hold on, wait though. Are we underestimating the swag levels of Zach Wilson?
He has none.
The MILF Master?
I'm about to say, come on now.
Come on, dog. It's a different kind of swag. It's a different kind of swag, you know? Look, I bet the boys out there in Utah understand the swagger.
All right, let's get the super chat.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
All right. First super chat from. Oh wow. Anyway, first super chat is from Small Useless Bread. I heard a 2-part report about DeJuan Jones. He was at 420 last year. He has lost 60 pounds this offseason.
I don't know about the second part. I definitely heard the first part.
420. I'm
420.
gonna be honest with you. He was 420. He was moving good for 420. Like 420 with the fucked up knee. Like, hey, he was moving pretty good for 420 with the fucked up knee. Not saying that he played well, but damn.
420?
Now, if he lost 60 pounds, what that mean? He died at what, 360?
360? That's still big as that's still big as shit, even for an offensive
He still got 10 more.
More than 10, probably like 20.
Nah, 10. You want to be 350. Because he's like 6'7".
He telling that he like 6'8".
Yeah, he like 6'8". So if he was like 6'5", you would want him 320. But like 6'8", you can carry the extra 20. You want him to carry the extra. What do you think, Curtis? Because if he was 330, this motherfucker looked like Batista at 6'8".
I don't know. It's like the first game when he came back, it looked like, damn, man, it's like he put on a ton of weight. And when I was watching the All-22, I'm like, there's something more to that because he was looking like he was getting off his stance like kind of slow. It was like
he had to clean up his knee.
Yeah, that's probably explains a lot. So, if he's playing at that weight, I don't know what weight he could get down. If he could lose, a couple pounds this offseason, maybe be around a weight that's fair enough. That's
what did he play at Ohio State?
I'm not sure. I gotta see what his weight was when he played it.
Because he's so tall that you got to be careful of how much he cuts.
I'm about to look it up right now.
Probably about 350. You want him set at 350, maybe 340 it depends on how he moves at 350. Right, but if he can get out at 350, yeah, I keep him there.
He was around 350 his last year at Ohio State, so
okay, that's what they want him.
350. I would imagine 340.
345. Somewhere.
Depends on how much muscle he putting on.
345 is fair enough. 345 is fair.
What was he hooping at? That's the real question.
I want to know where people found out that he lost all this weight. Is he like documenting this?
I really don't know.
If he is good for him. Like, let me see. See if there's anything.
Y'all subscribing to the text line? Is that how y'all telling me?
The text line?
Yeah, the Mary Kay text line. Y'all ain't never heard of that?
No, I have not.
$10 a month. You get a text from Mary Kay about inside scoops.
I'm good.
Next super chat.
Yeah, you trying to write that off?
No.
Let's get to the next one, man.
All right, next one is from One More. I keep thinking about what Q said on how then you make a trade, the universe don't want everything go wrong. With Kyrie getting injured, I'm really hoping the universe has forgiven the Browns and chose the Mavs now.
Hey, look, man, here's all I'll say about the Browns and the Deshaun Watson trade. Every time he wasn't in, shit went better. Every time he wasn't in. It was like Jacoby starts for the first half, we having a better time. Deshaun come in and get a little awkward, right? Same thing happened at the beginning of 2023, the end of 2023 was fun. Now, the only way that the Browns could offset that was playing DTR. But hey, I'll take what Jameis did off of what Deshaun was doing.
At least he was moving the ball.
We was scoring points.
Mm-hmm.
Only time we got over 30 was with Jameis. And this is what I'm saying. Jameis is mediocre. And there was a huge jump in offensive production with Jameis Winston out there. If you can get better than Jameis Winston, you probably be an average offense.
Hey, Curtis, go to the next one because this one's funny.
All right, this one's from Ray Rags. Cole, did you see Tez talking shit saying Ohio State couldn't hang with Oregon skill in the second game? You were down 34-0. What the hell are you talking about, man?
Man, I didn't know he was talking shit. Well, how could you talk shit after the way that second game went? It was straight up belt to ass all game. All game was belt.
How can he talk shit? No, he about to run a 4.5 at 112 pounds.
You talking about we can't run like you can't keep up with the skill? What do you mean, bro? You 150 pounds?
Bro, you can't outrun Quinshon Junkins. Like, he lost. He lost a race. He would lose that race. That's insane. Well, ain't he a track guy? He must be long speed. There's no way, right?
Because when they were showing his highlights, I'm like, yo, bro, there's no way he's.
Because no, you watch him on film and he has bursts, and I'm like, what the fuck happened in that 40 time?
Either he was hurt or he wasn't trying, or I don't know.
Maybe he need the wind. Like, I mean, maybe we're accounting for all this impressive shit he's done is outside in the wind, and the wind be carrying him. But in the dome, he ain't got no carry. But if he played out here in Lake Erie, man, that man could be blown away into the lake.
And it can't be because he wasn't trying. Because there's no way you want to put a 4.5.
I don't know.
Up there for everybody to see. Like, nah.
And he absolutely needs to try. Like, he's not that good of a prospect.
All I know is if he catches a ball on a crossing route, he better, tuck that ball because might get folded like a pretzel. So,
is he smaller than the dude from Oregon last year? Went to the Broncos.
Yes.
Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin's a little bit taller though.
It's worse.
He 150.
That is worse. He's taller and lighter.
No, he not lighter. Troy Franklin was heavier than him.
No, I'm saying Troy Franklin, he's taller and lighter than Troy. Taz. So I'm saying Taz is what, 150 at 6'1"?
Yeah.
That's a diabolical, skinny. You can't even play the NBA with that level of skin. Troy
6'3", 181.
Okay. So at least he's 180 though.
Yeah, but when he was at the combine, he was around 176. So
damn, how the fuck he 150, man. Like, some dudes don't make varsity because they ain't 150. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's get to the next one.
The next one is from Soul Train. He said Nick Emanwari will look good as a Brown though.
He would.
Hey, dog, I was talking this with JP. He has one job in the NFL, and he better hope he doesn't get drafted to one of these two divisions, the AFC East or the AFC North. And if he gets drafted to the AFC East or the North, you better hope you're on the Bills or you're on the Ravens, because you know what every other team going to say? All right, Nick, you got that man right there. Your job is to follow Lamar Jackson. Tackle Lamar Jackson. Because he put up a 25 on his bench press with 32-inch arms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, brother. Should have been a boxer because you're going to be fighting everywhere. He in the AFC East, you know what his job going to be? You going to be the dude we blitz to tackle Josh Allen. All I'm saying is if Nick get to his NFL team and somebody asks him, how you feel about gaining the extra 20? It's about to be a long year. It's about to be a long year.
Long year.
Oh yeah, you about to play linebacker. I don't care what they tell you. You get to Baltimore, and Kyle Hamilton is super happy to see you, and he's teaching you everything he used to do. It's because he ain't about to do that no more. You about to do that. Yeah, man. I think he would be great in a lot of different fits. But yeah, and especially because he's not really a free safety, is he?
No, he's more of a strong.
Yeah, he's kind of like that Grant Delpit kind of vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6'3", super fast. Probably playing the wrong position. But could you imagine if he was 245?
Oh, LB1.
Edge one. With the 11-3? Nah. His 3-cone was pretty good too, right? Did he do a 3-cone?
I think he did. I think he did the agility testing.
If he did a sub 6'8" 3-cone, oh yeah. See if he can play edge. Fuck it.
What's the next one, Curtis?
The next one is from Ray Rags. Q, that dude whose take you reacted to isn't a Boston fan. He's called Chi-Town. While his take was absolutely terrible, he ended up realizing how he sounded a little later in the video. He's also legit Shaq's cousin.
It was some Shaq takes right there. Like that felt like a Shaq take because he was like the Cavs ceiling is beating Boston. I mean, no, not beating Boston. He said the Cavs ceiling is the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Celtics floor is the NBA Finals.
No, I disagree.
I thought so too.
I disagree.
I just don't think he understood floor and ceiling, man.
Like,
I think he was thinking in his head, I don't think the Cavs will beat Boston, which is fair. But like when you say their ceiling is Boston, it's like you don't think they can beat Boston, which is.
I think the Cavs ceiling is winning a title, just like the Celtics ceiling is winning a title.
Yeah. Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Boston,
the Lakers.
They all have. Oklahoma City, Cleveland,
okay. Okay. And the Lakers.
You think the Lakers got a championship ceiling now?
Hey, listen, 2 seed in the West.
I understand. But like what y'all had problems with Jokic with Anthony Davis.
You ain't see the last game? You ain't see the last ever game?
Okay, man, I'm not worried about what y'all do to that man in the regular season. Know that man has given Anthony Davis legitimate fits.
Anthony Davis not on the team no more.
That's one of the best defensive players at his position.
Hey, funny enough, the Lakers have been a better defensive team since AD got traded. I don't understand how that happened.
It's not going to continue. I just don't understand how y'all gonna get like I think that's the big thing is like y'all got no bigs and eventually it's gonna matter.
Yeah, if like the Lakers did get to the finals and they played the Cavs, I'd be like, ooh, that's a bad matchup.
That's a horrible matchup.
That's a bad
Jared
matchup.
Allen can play in that series.
Absolutely can play in that series.
Yeah. So yeah. Again, I said what I said. Those 3 teams won some championship windows. I think the Lakers would be fun. Only thing with the Lakers, like they got Luka and they got LeBron. Are you really going to count them out of
This is exactly what I said. I was like, I hear what everybody's saying. If you have LeBron James and Luka Doncic on your team, you can beat anybody.
I think in a single game, you absolutely got that point. But in a 7-game series, I think that's a little bit more difficult.
Hey, man.
Unless you like completely bullshit. Which I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, so I'll give you it.
Hold on, they saying the Cavs Twitter got hacked. Hold on.
Got hacked by people who sell Bitcoin.
Good Lord. Somebody trying to sell Cavs coin.
Cavs token? Come on. They ain't even doing nothing fun with it.
Oh yeah, they put Iggy Azalea's ass on here. Like, no, is that an ad? Okay, it's an ad. Okay, man, Twitter's such a weird fucking place. Like, yeah, they got hacked.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got more?
Yeah, we got a couple. We got about 3 more. This one from Iceman to Boss. Y'all see how Roseman said to Todd McShay not to draft the QB to draft one? Also, what are each of your dream scenarios for the next 3 years for the Browns in terms of roster building?
Dream scenario next 3 years. I didn't see Howie say that though. I didn't see him say that though. I mean, me personally, I want them to take the best. Like, I want them to go BPA this entire draft, and then next year I want them to go quarterback. Year after that, I'm not entirely sure. To be
best case scenario, you're able to replenish some of your you're able to keep some of your aging stars that are in their like late 20s, early 30s. So you keep Denzel Ward, you keep Myles Garrett, right? Offensive line feels like it has a new lease on life by the end of 2025, right? If you go into 2026 offseason and you feel good about the offensive line, you feel good about your running game, and you know what you need to go in and replace is like you need to get more wide receivers. and then you feel good about your defense, then I think you're in a really good spot. You go ahead, take a quarterback wherever you can take a quarterback, whatever you got to do to get a quarterback, you can go ahead, take a quarterback. Hopefully you can get like K. Klubnik's the guy that keeps coming to my mind when it comes to quarterback. I think will be a good prospect for him. But if you get somebody like Cade, then you can do the Philadelphia Eagle thing where you're not asking him to be so good that you can beat Pat off the strength of having this quarterback, but you're asking Cade to be able to drive the bus that can take him down. And you have a great run game. You have a great offensive line. And then you're able to address quarterback and wide receiver in next year's draft and offseason. And then you go into 2027 with the quarterback, with good young prospects on your roster, offensive line, and with all the Deshaun Watson stuff clearing, you have cap space to now maximize and try to win a championship in the 2027 season. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Now, let's hope Andrew Berry's still on that same shit. Well, Jimmy Haslam. But yeah, that's what my best case scenario would be.
All right, the next one is from Ray Rags. While I don't like the mindset of not giving a team credit for getting over the hump, but the way he's talking about the Cavs, but the way the media is acting like Boston didn't play one healthy team for a full series and that this team is not as good as last year.
Team's not as good as last year. They're still really good. They can still win a title. But yeah, they didn't play anybody that was healthy last year except the Mavs in the finals,
who kind of got there what felt like by accident. Not like the Mavs did not feel like the team that should have came out the West that
year. Yeah, they don't feel like the team that should have came out the West that year, but they did, and salute to them for that. But Cavs were hurt.
It was like the year when LeBron came out in 07, where it's like
they played the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think the Pacers were healthy.
Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. I think Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. He tweaked his hamstring.
Oh yeah, he did get hurt. He did get hurt. He did get hurt.
The Pacers were only there because the Knicks got hurt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then by the time they played the Cavs, the whole team was like half the team.
Who did the Pacers play in the first round?
The Pacers played the Bucks, and Giannis got hurt. The series.
Yeah,
and they played the Knicks, and the Knicks fell apart. And they played the Celtics, and
then they fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Pacers had multiple leads in like all those games, and the Celtics ended up like walking them down every game or something like that. So yeah,
it's just the Celtics to me. A lot of people think they're like unstoppable, but they're not. You can beat this team if you just play smart and don't let them get hot from three. Because once the threes start not falling, eventually they're going to just play iso ball and just start forcing them up anyway. That's why the Cavs were able to come back. So they're not like some unstoppable team. You can beat them if you don't fold and just weather the 3-point barrage, because they'll have nights when they're hitting from three and then other nights when they're can't hit anything. So,
Yeah, they got I don't think they're a juggernaut per se, but I do think they can absolutely win a title.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with Boston. I'm like, I don't like that everybody's framing it like Boston's like the Bron Heat, where it's like inevitable that they're going to get to the finals. And I'm like, it's very possible that they can get to the finals, but they have flaws that can be exploited just as much as any other team in that conversation. Like if you talk about Cleveland, you talk about Boston, both not perfect teams, but I think both you feel the same way about winning. I think Boston just has the advantage of doing it before, which they haven't always done. So we'll see. Also, you know how Boston fans are. They win one ring. You swear to God, they got a fucking dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
You swear. I'm like, damn, man, I thought they three-peated in 08. The way they talk, you would have sworn. You would have sworn. Did they beat the Lakers in that one?
Beat them in 08, lost them in 2010.
Yeah, I'll never hear about that one, though.
Last
it is
one.
Funny how like Cavs fans do hate the Lakers, but we just hate Boston so much more that we're willing to align with the Lakers with Boston. Like it's at Boston's expense because we're like, man, fuck Boston, dude.
Always on the right side of history. Be on the right side of history. Fuck the Celtics.
Yeah. I mean, that's astonishingly true. So many different ways.
Last one.
All right, last one from Domo. What player would y'all trade up for with Minnesota, I'm guessing?
He's talking about from 33?
Yeah.
I'm stealing because I asked Corey this question earlier, and he had an answer that I agreed with. Josh Simmons, Shedeur Sanders, maybe Donovan Jackson.
I want to trade up for Donovan Jackson.
You want to trade up? I could be convinced. I could be convinced because I'm like, worst case scenario, I get a starting guard that can replace Joe Bitonio. Best case scenario, I got my tackle with the future. And I'm super young on the offensive line. Like, I'm only trading up from 33 to solve quarterback or left tackle.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming with it. It just depends on who falls to me. Because there's guys
because if Josh is falling, then like you would imagine Connerly's still there.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It just depends. And also if Josh is falling, like that feels like a medical red flag to me. You know what I'm saying?
I will take the risk.
I don't know if I'll take the risk. But I also like Connerly. I like Ursery from Minnesota.
Because here's why I would take the risk. Because if he's falling because of a medical, maybe out the top 15, but somebody's still willing to spend 20 to 25 on him if he falls, then maybe that's just he might miss part of the season medical. I ain't thinking that hard about this year, right? Like, I don't think we got a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. So if I gotta wait for it a year or two, I'm fine with waiting for it. I'm not in the position where I'm that thirsty. But like if it's a true like scary medical thing, he's gonna fall to 33 anyways, right? But if it's like, hey, people are still thinking about taking him in the first, then the medical doesn't scare me off as much. So that's where I am with him. Donovan Jackson, you could convince me because of the utility there. And then like Shedeur's my number one ranked quarterback. If you can get him in the 20s, then like, okay, man. Like you would feel better about that than like Kirk Cousins, right? Like if you're trying to feel better than Kirk, then I think you could get Shedeur. You're not investing so much in him that it would be unheard of to bail for somebody else if that option becomes available. And you know, you give yourself a shot and you give some people something to be excited for. You know what I mean? So I think those two I would do. Curtis, who would you trade up for?
I have to see. Honestly, there's so many interesting names. So.
What if Genty falls to 20?
Ooh.
I'm doing it for Genty too. I don't anticipate it, but I'm doing it for Genty, big dog. I'm doing it. I'm sorry. That man looked like LaDainian Thompson, and we just lost. We might lose Nick Chubb. I'm doing it for. I'm absolutely. That's one of my three favorite players in this draft. I'm doing it.
I hear you.
I'm doing it.
The running back class is so good, I can't justify doing it.
Yeah, but it's one guy who's that good, right?
I can't justify.
There is not. This ain't a 1A, 1B situation. Like that's where I go. This is a great class, Cole. We all agree. One of the greatest classes we've seen from running back in a while. We can all agree, right?
Yes.
Not a single one of these running backs people are arguing is in the same class as Ashton Jennings. Yeah, I'm taking him. If he falls to 20, I'll give up the fourth and fucking take him. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Because look, you might not have a quarterback this year, and if you're not going to have a quarterback, you really need to have a dude at running back.
I mean, I feel like I can get a dude at running back later.
Not that dude.
I mean, yeah, not him, but
yeah. I mean, like you might be able to get somebody who's a really good running back, maybe even Pro Bowler. But like Genty, I mean, you talking about that potentially could be what like Saquon and and Caffrey and what Nick Chubb was in his prime and Derrick Henry. I mean, you talking about a dude who could potentially carry an offense for a little bit. Ain't no better bridge quarterback than a dude at running back. And that's a dude. I don't know. I do it. It served the same purpose to me as drafting Shador. Like, we not gonna get fired, dog. Like,
we not gonna get fired.
Yeah, we gonna go over 500. We gonna have a guy. You get Abdul Carter and Ashton Jetty in the same draft, dog. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can draft Taz for all I care. I don't give a fuck. Do some Anthony Schwartz shit after that. We good. Okay.
Please don't do some Anthony Schwartz.
We good, dog. Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's certain defensive tackles, if they started to fall, I think about it.
With Mason Graham?
Nah, well, I mean Mason Graham not gonna fall. Shamar not gonna fall. Did you see where Day had Shamar going to his mock?
Shamar might not make it if you trade back within the top 10. Okay,
like Shamar, he had Shamar going 8.
Yeah, he's gonna go earlier than that.
Yeah.
There's no defensive coach in their right mind that thinks to themselves they can't do something with that.
If the Browns trade back to 6, I feel like he's the pick.
Oh, he's absolutely the pick.
Like I feel like if they trade back with the Raiders, he is 1,000% the pick.
Unless like Mason Graham falls all the way back there, which I don't anticipate.
Graham or
then
Stewart,
it might get interesting.
Graham or Stewart.
I'm taking Graham because I'm like I need a hit. I need a win in this draft, right? Like I Stewart could be a home run, but hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that triple that Mason Graham gonna give you.
You know what? I think this is funny. I feel like this is the opposite of our CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson conversation. I'm taking Stewart. I'm taking Stewart. 100%.
I understand the selection. I'm just like, hey man, we haven't had a top 5 pick or a first round pick in 3 years. We need to hit a triple. We need to get on base in the first round. I know if I take Mason Graham,
he's different.
Yeah, he is different. Mason Graham gonna get me on base, and he could be a home run too.
Man, if Shamar Stewart pan out,
Shamar Stewart could win Defensive Player of the Year. Like that's kind of potential he has, though. Like I don't think Mason Graham ever evolves into that level of player. But
there's a chance
I know you're not gonna regret it, right?
No, if you draft Mason Graham, you're hitting on that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a hit. You're good.
You're good.
Shamar though, bro.
Shamar could be the next thing, right? Like
if you hit on Shamar, the next time Miles asks for a trade, you'd be like, yeah, okay.
I don't know if I go that far, but I don't know if I go that far.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, I think they're at a place where they need to balance the risk here, right? If they were like the 49ers are a team that can absolutely do that. It was like, if they waste the 11th pick, who cares? They still the 49ers. We can't do that. We need to. You see how old our roster is?
Yeah, our roster's old.
We need to get studs on this roster fast. Okay.
You heard they said that they're not going to be super active in free agency this year.
I mean, that's probably smart.
Like we going all in on the draft, man. We're going all in on the draft.
I think maybe you try to get a center. Maybe you get a swing tackle in free agency. Try to answer quarterback on a cheap deal. I don't think you're going to spend more than like.
How many picks the Browns got?
12.
And they got 12. So they got some top picks.
Yeah, they might be
12, and they're probably like, depending on what happens at 33, they could end up with more.
Yeah,
I don't know if the market's going to formalize around 2, but they could.
They're gonna use all them picks because they need to use all them picks.
No, they need young cheap players, young good cheap players on this roster right now.
Yeah, they're gonna use all them picks.
Yeah, they need to draft because they have not leaned on the draft the last 2 years. Well, I would say 2021 and 2022, they did not select a ton of players that worked out for them. So 2023 looks like it's going to be a much better class, though. And 2024 is probably going to be pretty decent once it all shakes out. But yeah, they need this 2025 class to have some volume, and that's why I'm like, unless I got 2 first-round picks, bro, I'm taking Mason. Okay, like if he's there, like, why try to swing and miss to hit a home run when I could get a triple right now, dog? Like, I'm good.
Yeah, this is my swing that I'm taking.
And look, Mason Graham is not just a regular nobody on base triple. Mason Graham is like, you batted in 2 runs and you got a triple. It's a good pick. Like,
he's blue chip to me.
Yeah,
like 100%. He's blue chip to me.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like, there's nobody gonna blame you. Even if Shamar Stewart could turn into the next Myles Garrett and you took Mason Graham, nobody, we should have took him. Nah, because you're gonna be pretty happy with Mason Graham. Okay, like, you would say that shit for whoever takes like somebody ridiculous early in the draft or something like that. But no, it's not gonna be you. So yeah, that's why I wouldn't be comfortable doing it. But yeah, there's a lot. Anybody else you would trade up for, Curtis?
Colb said Josh Connerly, so that's one person off the list. I'm thinking because there's so many I would trade up for.
I don't know if I'm trading up for Josh.
I like Josh. I like
Josh too. I worry about the power.
Yeah, he seemed a little light in the ass.
Well, you know, he used to play running back in high school.
I did not know that.
I know that.
Yeah. Damn,
from running back to left tackle, that you don't see that too much.
He just kept getting bigger.
You don't really see that a lot, actually. That's funny.
Hey, you know what that means? Good feet.
He got good feet. He got everything. I just think he's a little light in the ass. That's all.
Yeah, hey, look, we can work on that. That's one.
Like I said, I like
second. That's 33. I'll work with it at 33. I don't know if I want to trade up for it though, because it is a bit of a project.
I would take Ursery in the second round and not care.
Yeah.
I feel good about that. That's a big dude. He's a strong dude. He's a strong dude too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot you could do there. We got any more super chats to clear?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Don't been trying to get us to draft Malachi Starks for forever.
If Malachi Starks falls to you at 33, yeah, do it. Like what?
That's who he would trade up for personally. He would be like, you know what, Malachi falling, taking that.
No, I'm not trading up for safety this year. It's just too many other ones. You can get Makuba in the third. Lathan Ransom.
Crash dummy. Lathan Ransom is a crash dummy.
Why don't I like that?
If there's one thing Lathan Ransom go do, he's gonna hit somebody.
Hey, head down. Run through a motherfucking chest. Okay.
Oh, somebody said Matthew Golden.
Nah, I'll wait.
I like Matthew Golden though.
I'll wait.
If he was there at 30,
Golden, you think he's like a wide receiver too?
Probably.
Yeah, I see the same for him, like Elick. I think there'll be guys like him there.
I like Elick though.
Elick ran 4.4.
I was surprised. I was like, that's a good time. It's like that's a good time.
He ran just as fast as Isaiah Bond, who said he was going to run a 4.1.
Why did he set himself up?
Yo, man, he was the third fastest guy on this team.
That's crazy. He said he was going to run a 4.1, and then Matthew Golden ran a faster 40 than him.
And Blue did too.
Yeah.
And I'm Blue.
Was he the slowest of the skill position guys from Texas?
Yeah, I mean, like Gunnar Helm ran a 4.7. So, like,
but he was hurt though.
Yeah,
did you see his ankle?
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
Played through. That tells me he played through that ankle roll like a motherfucker. Sign me up. Okay.
If
you don't get that puffy unless you really try to cut on it after you fuck it up. Like,
yeah, if he fall, you can go ahead and you can run that pickup.
Oh, the third round tight end conversation is looking glorious. Okay.
There's so many tight ends I would take in that third round.
We were like, there's no way Harold Fane gonna be there the third. Nah, he gonna be there. Gunner might be there. Fuck it. I don't think Arroyo gonna make it. Arroyo's gotta go in the second, right?
Arroyo's not gonna make it. Who's the Mason Taylor?
Mason Taylor? Nah, he gotta go in the second, right? Like,
you think he gotta go to the second?
Yeah. Did you see his gauntlet?
Yeah, I did.
It was the cleanest gauntlet I ever seen in my life. Like,
if Mason Taylor,
he hit 22 while running down the line and catching footballs.
Mm-hmm.
Dog.
And he can block. Hey.
Oh, what? And then the blocking dudes, Lachey and Hawes, tested good.
Mm-hmm.
They both had verts.
Hey, I take Lachey day 3 running it up.
If Hawes is in there, because I think Hawes is him, but better.
Either one. One.
Oh, what Ferguson ran a 4.6.
I like
literally
Ferguson.
Every single metric you look for, the tight end Ferguson like smacked it out the park. And like you watch the tape, he's not that bad. He's not bad. I don't think he can block. He's light, but
listen,
he can learn.
They got 12 picks, right? They got 12 picks. This is a two running back, 2 tight end draft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
David Njoku should call his agent after this draft and make sure everything's okay.
I just want to let everybody know 4 of these 12 picks have been allocated to tight end and running back already.
Yeah. We're taking 2 running backs. We're taking 2 tight ends. That part is guaranteed.
We got 8 picks to work with here. We got 8 picks
for everything else.
Yes, for everything.
And I'll be honest with you, it's not a guarantee that we don't double up on the interior because it's also that kind of class there.
Oh, what you talking about? Online? D-line? I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
I don't know where Darius Phillips is falling. But Jordan could be something there. Zeke Biggers, and then shout out to my guy CJ West, Indiana. Thought he was the only Hoosier worth something when they played somebody worse shit.
Oh, you a CJ West guy?
Oh yeah, big CJ West guy.
CJ West guy.
Yeah, every time Indiana disappointed that season, I was like, hey, number 8 out there working. Okay.
I know Corey's a big Jordan Phillips guy.
Corey likes CJ West too.
Corey a big Jordan Phillips guy. I ain't gonna lie.
JP has joined the group too. JP's joined the CJ West group.
Oh, y'all pushing the CJ West?
We got him. We don't care about them 29-inch arms, brother. Like he could 2 gap. Okay.
Listen, if that's what you want, that's what you want. I know who my favorite D tackle is though.
Who?
Harmon.
Y'all I can't get myself there. Maybe I got to watch some different games for him.
I love Derek Harmon.
Not as high.
Domo talk about TJ Sanders. We know you love TJ Sanders. We know.
Yeah, South Carolina got all the fast guys.
Walter Nolan is the dude who's gonna fall. And I wonder if the Browns do that.
Walter Nolan?
Mm-hmm. If you start looking at mocks and if you start looking at big boards, he's the one who keeps falling down. I guess there's some character stuff. But
I wonder if Tet falls, do the Browns make a move?
Tetro Boomin?
He not gonna fall that far.
I don't know either.
He not gonna fall that far. I think his absolute floor is the Cowboys.
See, but then we relying on the Cowboys to do shit that makes sense.
They came out so there was a report today that said they wouldn't take a running back 12, so they're not gonna take Jancy. We'll see how true
I don't think Jancy makes it past San Francisco.
I don't think he does either. Ooh, Jancy on the 49ers. Jesus.
I saw Curtis's face because he thinking about jumping to that Seattle, and he just thought about it. Dog, what am I doing?
Jesus.
Yeah, you better hope they decide to waste that pick, dog.
That smells like 1,500 yards year one.
That smells like you ain't never winning the division if you switch. Okay. Come on, dog. You finish in 3rd place no matter what. Okay. It don't matter what colors you rooting for, big dog.
Hey, somebody said character issues of Andrew Berry is like giving a line to a crack addict.
Hey, we know it ain't got nothing to do with his feelings about Abdul Carter. Hey, I'll be so pissed if he comes out here. We just had some worries about the character of Abdul Carter. I'm like, this is the time.
I would be so mad.
Like, hey, this is the one you can't let slide? Like, really? Really, dog? Really? You choose now to have not when you traded for the dude with 30 cases? Nah, okay. Oh, but this is the one. This is the one you draw the line. Unbelievable. And the crime wasn't even that bad. Okay.
Nobody cares that he beat up the boot man. We do not care. We don't care.
Man, some people champion that kind of stuff. You know, like.
Man, I'm not worried about that at all. Who's the other dude who's gonna fall because of James Pierce Jr. James Pierce,
Trevor, the all Andrew Berry team, young athletic dudes, the all Andrew Berry team. Look, they getting one. Trevor Etienne will be a Brown. Okay, like,
hey, bro, I'm telling you, if James Pierce Jr. if he's still there in round 3.
You think Andrew's passing that up at 33?
Oh, y'all gonna draft a sociopath as your edge rusher? Yeah,
I'll tell you, Andrew gonna be looking like, can he get to 90?
And look, Curtis, I understand what you're saying, but Andrew Berry seemed like the type of guy to be like, worked out when the Patriots did it.
Listen. If James Pierce Jr. fall,
the Pouncey brothers had a very long career in the NFL. Like,
we acting like being a psychopath is a bad thing when we talk about professional football.
I mean, it can be a bad thing.
Say a sociopath, not a psychopath.
No, not a psychopath. You can deal with the psychopath. Sociopath's a bit crazier. Okay, like a bit more malicious. But yeah, hey, wouldn't be the first team to do it.
Don't let him be around.
I don't want to do it just because, like, I just don't like James Pierce that much as a prospect. But you know, he's not my kind of edge.
Andrew Berry though, you don't get that itch.
Andrew Berry be like, it's some bullshit on the defensive line sometimes. Like, now, I hope he talks himself into Ty Robinson.
Ty Robinson, I like.
Because I'm like, that's just Alex Wright, but white. Like, and more athletic. 270, strong arms.
We need some diversity on the defensive line. Go get Ty Robinson.
We need a guy like Ty. Okay. He's gonna outwork everybody. We need to bring some hustle.
Somebody the fans can root for, you know what I'm saying?
Look, if we gonna lose Myles Garrett, we need to get a fan favorite on that defensive line stat. Okay. Hey, Mason Graham and Ty. Okay. Woo! We're gonna outwork everybody. Like,
oh man. Oh, we got one more super chat.
This is from Akaline. Been so long since I've been able to catch you guys live. Just want to let you all know how much I really enjoy listening in.
Yeah, thank you, Akaline. We appreciate that, bro.
That was nice.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
And we're going to have to go. Hey, man, might have to tip the scales. We lost Nick Chubb, too, dog. Cam Scatterboo, come to Cleveland.
All right. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot.
That's a mock draft. We should do the all fan favorite.
The whitest draft of all time. Will Howard.
Yeah.
Who's the wide receiver from TCU who was cooking the Senior Bowl?
Oh, Jack Beck? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, crazy thing, would it be a terrible draft? Gunnar Helm? Yeah. Oh, Mason Taylor. Absolutely.
Hey, making the Browns great again, baby.
Yeah, look. They have ended their program at the quarterback room, right? For a while, we was rocking the all-black quarterback room. That shit has violently come to an end in 2024. They taking out everything that was in that store and they are putting in a Kohl's, brother. It's gonna be fucking Kirk Cousins, Will Howard, and Kyle Trask.
Woo. We're gonna buy AB another year. I'm telling you, we're gonna get AB another year, bro.
Hey, look, ain't nobody gonna complain about the quarterback room this year. Okay. Who we gonna have on the practice squad? Bailey Zapp on the practice squad?
Somebody.
No, Mac Jones on the practice squad.
No, I got you. Max Brosmer.
Ooh.
Max Brosmer, baby.
Tyler Show. Okay.
The hard-working all-stars, bro.
Like, we're gonna bring this back to the heart of the city. I'm like, what side of the city you talking about, Andrew? This is crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah. It is unfortunate timing for the Cleveland Browns. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Hey, I'm not joking about if you do lose Miles, you're gonna have to do something to make people happy. Like, and Mason Taylor and Ty Robinson, hey, you might have to take Jack Sawyer. Okay.
I was about to say, bro, it's like, hey man, you might have to do it. You might have to do it.
You might have to take Jack. That is the cost, right? Like,
oh
Lord. Oh Lord, Deshaun Watson. You done did damage, brother.
We drafted players we don't even want.
You done did some damage, brother. Oh my goodness. Did damage to the guaranteed contract conversation. Like, you done did that. Like, honestly, Deshaun Watson's whole Cleveland run feel like a psyop. Like, damn, bro. Did the CIA get to him? Like, it's crazy. Oh man, Deshaun did damage, bro. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the next brother to step in here, trying to tell us he the answer.
Pray for Jalen Milroe.
Hey man, or Cam Ward. Okay, look, it's gonna be all fun when we first draft one of them, and then they play, and people are like, this reminds me of Deshaun. Oh God. Oh God.
I don't know how people don't see it already, but I was like, he plays exactly like the guy you try to get rid of.
You know when they gonna see it, Cole? The first time he do this. Oh, it's 3rd. It's 3rd and 12. Who is gonna be tough? It's gonna be. You know how fast we gonna get to booing this motherfucker, man.
Ooh, do y'all see what Matthew Berry said?
What?
The one team I heard that did like Shedeur Sanders was Cleveland. They like Ward as well, but they would be good with either. So
I wonder if Cleveland trying to take Shedeur too, and they trying to drive up the market with Cam. I don't know.
What if they just trying to like trade back? That's what it feels like to me, bro. That's what it feels like to me, bro. Like they try to trade back and get extra picks. Like
I don't know what they trying to do, but that's been it for Q and Cole, man. We're gonna call this one a little bit short for y'all. Everybody have a great day. Shout out Steel Toe Gang. Shout out Hoodie Gang. Shout out anybody who animates, draw stuff. Anybody else? Barbers. We shouting out the barbershop.
Always shout out the barbers.
Absolutely.
Shout out the barbers. Shout out the braiders. Shout out the twisters. Who else? Anybody who do hair. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to dental hygienists.
Shout out to the dental hygienists.
You know what I mean? Our RNs out there, registered nurses. Got to give them a shout out. You know?
STNAs, CNAs, all of y'all.
All that stuff. All that. Shout out to our vets. You know, anybody a vet in the audience?
I don't know if we got any vets in the audience, but shout out to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, taking care of the pets.
Shout out to the anime gang. Love y'all as always.
That was bait. That was bait.
That was a bait. That's just me.
That was
That's
bait.
just me.
No, that was bait.
You do not have to say anything. You do not have to say anything.
That was bait. That was bait. You know it was bait because Curtis started laughing. He knew it was bait too. Why you thought I went out there?
Let me appreciate my community. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the future fan base of the Cleveland Rockers. You know, y'all got a WNBA team. You know?
Yes.
And look, look. I can't leave because I've been with Atlanta the last few years. You know, got a nice thing going. But if it goes left, a brother might request a trade. You know, want to come home.
Nah, as soon as the Rockets are back, I'm leaving. I'm there.
Who are you even with anymore, dog? You done traded. You done requested a trade 4 different times for your squad. You started with the Sparks.
Only once. I was with the Sparks, and I was like, you know what? I feel like Sparks and Lakers is too. I feel like that's too obvious. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going Sky.
You might want to go back to the Sparks, bro.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to Sparks.
Rukia Jackson look like she gonna be the real deal, dog. Like
Hurricane break. Yeah, I might.
Cam and then De'Erica Hamby, cold. And here's the thing: WNBA, everybody's gonna be a free agent next year.
Ooh.
The whole league gonna be free agent. Everybody, like Asia, all of them. Everybody, because it's a new CBA. And they trying to get that money now.
Ooh, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, and you know it's gonna be an attractive spot in the free agency like that. Hey, you talk about you might be able to pair up Cam with Asia because it looked like Las Vegas is about to fall apart.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to all the WNBA fans, man. You love W. Love W.
You might want to come back to the Sparks, bro. I will put in that request before the spring starts. Because I think the Chicago been on some bullshit this offseason. I don't know what they doing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But we gonna figure it out.
Trade. Go back home, brother.
Oh, shout out to all the WWE fans.
Oh yeah,
because I've been locked in.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going good over there.
I've been locked in. It's been nice.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, "Let's get Hunter at 2. Shador late first." I got dreams too, man. Hey, man, I'm just gonna say this: if you draft that combination, they both better be good because you remember how the Oklahoma fans were when we got Baker. Mm-hmm. How they all became Browns fans. Whew, boy, if they not good, dog, then that Sanders. That Dion Hive, they gonna be annoying. We gonna hate them. We gonna hate them like we hate the Baker Bros.
Please take that. And the clock people too. And the clock people.
You know, I'm not really worried about them, but you know, like the larger hive of the Sanders fan base that is enough to change the ratings on Colorado televised. There's millions of people, y'all. Millions of people, not like 20 people on Twitter, right? Like millions of people. It's gonna be annoying. They better be good. I just hope they can be good so we can all be in peace and unison.
Yeah, man, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens.
We'll see. I just hope. I hope whatever the Browns do, it works out. You know? What are you hoping for, Curtis? You fucking trader. Trying to get traded. No, we not trading. No, what you want to happen?
I don't know yet. I'll think about it. I'll see how it goes. Hey, I'll observe.
We'll check back in at the start of camp, and we better have an enthusiastic. I hope it works out next year from you, Curtis. You know, because we're not trading you. Okay, yeah, so get ready to believe in the vision. Okay, however much time you need to believe in your vision, we'll give you. Wearing the Seattle Seahawks thing in there.
Man, he thought he was so sleek doing that when he came out here. I was like, okay, we see you. Yeah. Request denied. Request denied,
bro. We don't care do as many podcasts as you want, young man. Like, fuck, I don't even listen to them shits anyway. You ain't stopping me. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, trying to get traded. All right, we know what hoodie you gonna have on come September. Okay. Like, trying to bounce. Nah, we about to go through this together.
We need you to lock in. That's what we need. We need you to lock in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lock in.
What you going to escape? What you escaping to, Curtis? What you going to escape to? What, another 8-9 season? losing to the 49ers? Like,
They beat them last year.
What did it do for you? They beat them last year. Where y'all go? Lost the Rams. Okay. Even when the 49ers had a down year, brother, where was y'all? Where was y'all? It ain't Legion of Boom no more, brother. You ain't leaving for no greatness. You leaving mid for mid. I don't understand it.
I'm leaving mid for mid. I'm moving mid for optimism. There's a difference there.
What's optimism? What optimistic about?
What is optimism we have now?
You optimistic to watch your team lose to the Buccaneers in the first round? That's what the Seahawks are looking like.
I don't know how I'm gonna cover for that. I hope that it's not. I don't need that.
That's very much in your future.
Hey, let me tell you something. If y'all lose to Baker Mayfield in the playoffs, you're not gonna be able to come on this pod.
Hey, man.
The first 30 minutes gonna be us clowning.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't even think y'all need to be worried about the Rams or the 49ers. Y'all need to be worried about if the picks start to form into something in Arizona. What if Marvin Harrison Jr. starts looking good next year? What y'all got?
I'm not worried. I'm not moved.
Y'all,
Okay.
Do y'all even got is Geno the fourth best quarterback right now in that division?
That's the topic for another. That's another topic for another day.
Oh, that means if you ain't trying to talk about it.
I just don't understand. You leaving the Browns for the Browns with the Gucci belt, right? Like it's the same spot, dog. Yes. You just feel a little bit better about quarterback than you do with Cleveland. But it's the Browns with the Gucci belt on, man. What cool. You say about that? It's Cleveland with some swag. Okay.
It's cool. You'll be back. We worried. You'll be back.
You'll be back. What you going to talk about trading DK for the fourth offseason in a row? Come on. It's more fun over here. Okay.
You got JSN? No, that's cool.
Yeah. Wait till y'all trade him. Y'all always talk about trading people. Okay. You really leaving us for Clint Kubiak? That's what you want to bounce for is Clint Kubiak?
So he wasn't thinking about it. He's thinking about it now.
Yeah.
That grass ain't always greener, brother.
Who y'all GM?
John Snyder. Hey, you never know.
Yeah. You know, he built the Legion of Boom. He also drafted Rashad Penny in the first round.
Yeah, I can't defend that at all. I can't.
Yeah. You know, just saying. Come on back, brother. It's been a down year. I know. I understand the frustration. Come on home. Don't do this.
You'll be all right. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through it.
It's all right. You know what I mean? We'll get you something to replace that Nick Chubb. You know,
that Omarion Hampton jersey is gonna be nice too. It's gonna be nice. Man.
If you like Nick Chubb, you're gonna love Caleb Johnson. I feel so fucking bad for that running back, man.
That ass.
Dog, it's got to be Cam that you draft, because if it's not Cam, people will give that man a hard time for no reason. You know, Browns fans be acting stupid, like they don't know what good football look like. That dude could be running good. They'd be like, well, I thought Nick Chubb was better. They gonna get that man hell.
That's why you got to get two. You got to split up the hate.
And one got to be a fan favorite, Ohio State or Cam. Okay. They gonna get that man a hard time.
Ohio State or
yep. And then look, Ohio State would have always worked. It's just after a national championship, yeah, you could draft the Buckeye, right? They'll get that guy time. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta get like two Buckeyes in this draft. Mm-hmm. Just keep everybody cool. Okay.
Give Tyvus a job too. You know, he was on the other national championship team. Just like, yeah, he's quality control. Right? Like, give my man a job, and then we all good. Like, hey, your season ticket boxes better be immaculate this year, Cleveland.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
I'm talking about you better have a fucking LED screen in there, some smoke pop up when you open the goddamn box, because you just offer these people these same shitty boxes, dog. It's gonna be bad. But yeah, man, we out. Peace.